Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Heavy Metallurgy, number 88 to be exact. And Alan, good to see you. How are you?
I'm pretty good. How are you, Marty?
Doing fine. It's going to be a fun show tonight.
Yep.
And before we get started, I got two quick things I want to shout out. One of them, again, I want to make mention of our friend Pat over at Ground Zero Salem. He is starting his own distro, which will be launching on Sunday at high noon Eastern time at the website groundzerosalem.com. Go over there at Sunday and see he's starting off with some stuff out of his own collection. So I'm a little interested to see what's in the pile.
Yep.
Hopefully it doesn't hurt too bad. Also, the guys over the Saturday Slay crew over at it's over at the Dreadful Minutes this week. They're doing a gigantic monster stream with a bunch of guests and a bunch of hours of chit-chatting about gatekeepers in the metal scene. And that starts at 7 o'clock, I believe. I asked for the time and he didn't get back to me in time. So yeah, 7 o'clock tomorrow over at Dreadful Minutes. Rick will be there. A whole bunch of other people will be there. You know, some you might not know.
Yep. Yeah, they've got YouTubers, big and small. They've also got a couple of folks who are not, YouTube content creators, but work, with other parts of, the underground music scene. So yeah, it should be a really cool and interesting conversation. And they're going to be rotating folks through. So, if you watch for a little while and need to take a break, you can come back, catch more of the stream and hear perspectives from a lot of different folks. It won't be the same, exact group of people the whole night. So it should be a really cool layout.
Right. So yeah, that's it. Is there anything you wanted to, we're going to have a busy night tonight, I think. So before we bring our guests in, is there anything you wanted to add before?
Yes. Just a quick mention. Some folks have been starting up new YouTube content channels. So if you're taking it easy this weekend and looking for something to entertain yourself with on YouTube, definitely surf around. Rick at the Dreadful Minutes posted a nice roundup of YouTube content creators recently. So you can go there if you kind of want a condensed summary of what's going on, but two in particular I wanted to shout out. Scott Wilcox has posted a lot of times here in the Heavy Metallurgy chat and also left comments on my videos and others. He has a new channel called No Solution. He's already put up a couple of videos and they're well done. And also the Black Leather Eyes channel. I believe his name is Jason, and sorry if I've got that wrong, but he's posted a couple of cool videos here and there in the past, but he's recently started appearing on camera, showing stuff from his collection. He's got a lot of cool stuff, not just records, but also books and other, memorabilia to go along with it. He did, I think his most recent episode was on demons and sort of, demon symbology. And so had a lot of cool props to go along with the records. I really like his videos. Nice guy. He leaves comments on lots of people's videos. So those are just two of the newer channels you can check out. And there's lots of others too. Sorry, I can't shout out everybody, but had been chatting with those guys and promised I would give them a shout out tonight. So lots of new channels to go check out. Lots of cool content if you are looking for something new to watch.
Right on. Okay. Well, these two fine people are no stranger to these digital halls, but we're going to bring them in. And right now, they've been waiting long enough. Melanie from Melanie Loves Death Metal. Good evening.
Good evening.
Brainsmasher is here. There was some sweet cat butt going on here a minute ago, but that moved on. So thank you so much. Good to have you here. This will be a fun one.
Definitely.
Thanks for the invite.
I'm excited.
Yes. Last time, one of the last times we did Keep a Reap, and it's been a while since we did this, but Melanie was slated to be on, and at the last second, she chickened out and ran away and wouldn't appear on camera for us.
She was probably sick or kicking furniture somewhere in her house.
I, in fact, had COVID. It was the first time I'd ever had it. Tonight, I am also sick, and I have a broken toe, but I'm here. So
I'm going to soldier through this time. Yeah.
Well, the reason for this gathering tonight is, as Alan mentioned, we're doing the Keep a Reap again, and we thought it'd be fun to bring a couple people in and leave it up to you fine folks in the chat once again. What are the rules? Well, two titles are put up against each other. The person chooses which one they will keep forever to listen to and enjoy the rest of their life. The other one, they can never hear again. It is vanquished from their memory banks, from their collections, and
no cheats and workarounds. You can't go see the band live when they play the album start to finish. You can't go over to a friend's house. You can't listen to it stream while you're riding into somebody else's car. The universe will not allow those things to happen.
Yep.
Can I sing it to myself in my car?
No, you won't. It'll be forgotten. You'll be forgotten, completely gone.
You won't quite be able to get the beat down quite right. You'll remember that the album is gone, so that you're sad, but you won't be able to recreate
Only
it in any way.
pain remains.
Can you imagine if we made this real and people had to like have a hammer, and when they're done, they have to smash the record? Oh no, I don't know. Yeah, that would be amazing.
Cool.
Probably get a lot of views. I'd be pairing a lot of new wave of British heavy metal stuff now and be like, oh no.
Good time to retire. So, what do you want? The new? Do you want to keep Taylor Swift or Justin Bieber? You have to go real easy on each other.
Right. But I think what we're going to do first, so, people that are maybe new to the channel have never experienced this, we're going to go around and do a few rounds with each other. I picked 3 different pairings. I don't know. I think Ben said he had 4. We're going to get the ball rolling, and then we're going to leave it up to you folks in the chat. And again, I mentioned this last time. This is not necessary, but as things get busy, it's hard to follow. I mean, you guys are very talkative anyway. It's sometimes hard to follow the chat, but if there's a pairing you want us to particularly see, super chat makes it very visible. Money talks, bullshit walks. Just saying, not necessary. We'll find pairings as it is, but just want to put that out there. But
we will try our absolute best to get through everyone's pairings that posts. But yeah, if folks do want to contribute a bit on the super chat, we'll try to then boost those up to the front of the line to make sure we get to them as quick as we can.
Absolutely.
But you are not obligated to contribute anything through that way. We'll do our best to get through pairs whether you do the super chat or not.
Exactly. Sounds great. But I'm going to start. I'm excited. I picked these. They're probably not the most super hard to choose from. In fact, a lot of these are maybe geared at Ben. I don't know. But I'll start the festivity off. But this is to everyone here and anybody in the chat. We're going to start off with Judas Iscariot, To Embrace the Corpse's Bleeding.
Oh,
Jesus Christ.
Ben's already regretting certain decisions.
And seeing what shirt Ben is wearing, this might be a little more difficult. Transylvania, you got some Transylvanian hunger. You got the master and the student here. Did the student surpass the master? But yeah, this is the first pairing for the night. But before, let's see what the chat. I see. I love Judas Iscariot.
Yep. Yes, absolutely, folks. Post your answers in the chat. We'll get as many up on screen as we can. I'll try, Marty. I'll try to take care of a lot of the chats. Okay. You'll be taking care of a lot of the pairings and stuff.
Okay. So there it is. Melanie, do you have a thought? Do you have a horse in this race?
I do. I can go first if you would like. I'm gonna.
You're a Chicago girl, so a Chicago girl. You gotta go with your guy Andy here.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go with Judas Iscariot, simply because I would be okay with dealing with the other 3 Darkthrone albums that I enjoy that are similar, like Wings and what's that other one? I'm blanking right now. Although I really do love that album, but I also really love that Judas Iscariot album. And Darkthrone has made so many other albums that I'm okay with listening to aside from this one. And Judas Iscariot has a few albums that I really, really enjoy, and that's one of them. And then a few that I could just deal without. So I'm going to go with Jesus Iscariot, even though I'm probably going to regret this later. I might regret this later.
Yeah.
Darkthrone who? It's now, this is out of your vocabulary forever. Ben, what about you? What do you think?
One of them is a perfect album. The other is about a 95 because Dwayne Timlin's drumming is kind of shitty.
It's better than Andrew Harris's drumming.
Yeah.
So there's
That's
that. No.
I can drop a pile of pens on the floor and make a Judas Iscariot album.
Yeah.
All right.
Roll a bag of potatoes down the stairs. Anyway.
I've got more. I go further way back with Transylvanian Hunger than To Embrace the Corpses Bleeding, but I do love them both very dearly. So sticking with my boys here, Dark Throne.
Okay,
Yeah.
Alan, what about you? Is this anything that perks your interest?
Oh yeah. Both bands I like. Neither one is like, in my top tier for this style of black metal though. So it's actually a pretty, even fair fight in my eyes. Yeah, both are good, but yeah, neither is the album I reach for by the band. So it's not like, oh, well, that's my favorite Dark Throne, so I'll obviously keep that one. I think in this pair, I think I'll keep Transylvanian Hunger over Judas Iscariot. If nothing else, it is one of more the sort of classics of the genre. It would feel a little weird to have that pillar missing. The Judas Iscariot is fine, but yeah, it doesn't quite have the same legacy or pedigree to it. Not that it's any worse musically, as Ben said. They're both good albums and pretty comparable. But I'll keep the Dark Throne, and I'll let go of that particular Judas Iscariot. Marty, you want to answer this one yourself?
I'm probably going to go with Judas Iscariot. I mean, I really like this Dark Throne album. When I got it, I hated it. Too simple, too repetitive, but it grew on me. There's a certain charm to the songwriting on this, and the way it sounds. All of it together is pretty excellent album. I like it better than Under a Funeral Moon, actually, but this is probably Andrew's best as far as technical proficiency. Even though Ben's got a few things about Dwayne's drumming, I really think he had a huge hand in advancing the music.
Oh, yes.
Because Andrew, I mean, I really like the charm and of his messy drum performance on the early stuff, but Dwayne really tightened up the ship a lot, and these songs are just scathing, man. They're just scathing. They got a lot of teeth, and when it slows down and a little atmosphere enters in, it's really cool. This I think a little bit more diverse of an album than this one. So
that's fair.
Yep, I'm gonna have to go with Judas Iscariot.
Okay, so we are split 2-2, and the chat's been pretty evenly split too. There's been plenty of votes for Judas Iscariot and plenty of votes for Dark Throne. So I think that's the sign of a good pairing. It's not very one-sided here. So that's a good start, Marty.
All right.
So I chose one of those albums for one of my pairings. Do you want to get into that one, or
sure,
move on to something else?
You're up.
All right, jump right into it.
How about? Yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
That's an easy one for me.
Hitters.
That's an easy one for me.
I mean, I have to pick Mayhem because I just trashed Transylvanian Hunger. So, although I would have picked Dark Throne in this situation. Well, I've just screwed myself, and it's been 5 minutes into this stream.
You're just basically seeing Ben hold up empty air. You're like, what's he holding in his other hand? Yeah. Okay, Melanie's for De Mysterious. How about you, Alan?
I would keep De Mysterious in this pair also, if nothing else for Attila's vocal performance. But yeah, I would take that one over Transylvanian. How about you, Marty?
I'm gonna have to go with De Mysterious as well. I love Attila's performance on there. I think everybody seems to really love Dead, his vocal performance, and that's my least favorite era of Mayhem with Dead, although he had a cool voice. Attila, for me, I love how he took it in completely different territories as far as, the typical Cancer Throat, black metal, shrieking style. He made it more industrial, to be honest. He took it outside the box and made it dark and evil, and I love it. I think it's great. And I love the attack of those songs. I love a lot of the riffs. I'm a little tired of the album at this point. I think a lot of us, I mean, I'll put it on once in a while and like it, but I'm not grabbing it as much as I used to. It's just because I've heard it so many fucking times. But I mean, it's a great atmospheric album. Yeah, I have to go with Mayhem. How about you, Ben?
I do think this is maybe a better album, but my relationship with this band is soured. The more I've come to see them as World War II enthusiasts over the last couple of years, I'm a little sick of Mayhem, but It's a better album, yeah. By a hair.
By a hair. That's fair. So okay, yeah, we're on the Mayhem. The chat's been pretty evenly split. There's still a lot of folks holding on to that Dark Throne banner pretty tightly here, which is interesting to see and very cool.
I would choose Under a Funeral Moon over Dave Mysterious.
Fair.
Yeah.
Okay, Melanie.
All right, I didn't pull them because I explained to you guys I was being lazy, but I did
That's
two
okay.
two
All right.
Brazilian heavy hitters for me. Christian, Apocalyptic Revelation,
The best.
or Sepultura's Chaos AD.
Wow.
Okay.
That hurts because they're kind of different in my head.
They're different for sure.
They are
Yeah.
different, but of the same era.
Hmm.
They had the same impact on my life, but yeah, that's what I went with on this one.
Well, I guess I'll start. Chaos AD is an album I really liked when it came out. It's obviously very much a transitional album. They're coming out of a very awesome era. I mean, Beneath the Remains and Arise are just kind of unbeatable albums. That would have been a good pairing.
Yeah, I almost did that.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe we've done that. I don't think we've done that. Anyway, Christian, I like Christian. Every time I've seen Christian, the sound is terrible. It sounds like you're sticking your head in a jet engine. And they kind of borderline. The early stuff is, in particular, it has a bit of a war metal tinge to it, which isn't really high up my love.
We're talking about one album, though.
I know, one album. It's a great record. I gotta go with Sepultura. It's just more enjoyable at this point in my life. If I didn't have to hear Christian again, I couldn't tell you the last time I spun them willingly. So I'm keeping Sepultura. Christian probably won't make much difference for me.
I'm honestly surprised by that.
Yeah.
Ben, what do you think?
So my senior year of high school, I think the only tape in my car was Chaos AD for about 6 months. And I played the shit out of that thing. Me and that album are like this. So much so that I could probably do without having it for the rest of my life. I've seen Christian live about 5 times, and they're by far my favorite live band I've ever seen. Blows me away. I mean, I think they're done. Let's be honest. Their prime is far past. But they're so fun to see live, and this is by far my favorite album by them, and maybe a top 10 death metal album for me.
Wowie. Okay.
So,
Cool.
Yeah, I love the infernal, blasphemous, unhinged, infernal death metal.
Yeah.
None of their other albums that even come close to that one.
All right, Alan, you have thoughts on this one?
Yeah. I don't have a ton of history with Christian. I do kind of like Ben. I have a bit of a nostalgic connection with Chaos AD. It was kind of I won't go through the story here, but getting that album, it wasn't available locally. So let's just say I ended up riding a very short bus with a lot of strangers for a few hundred miles to get to a record store that had a copy of it. And we inadvertently ended up at a shopping mall that got shut down. So we were trapped inside because there was a Klan rally marching by outside we knew nothing about. So yeah, I worked to get that Chaos AD album.
World War II enthusiasts.
No, they were enthusiastic about something, but not that.
Yeah.
So yeah, for the nostalgia factor alone, if I give up Chaos AD, I give up a very fun story of how I got the album. So I will keep that one. I have nothing against Christian, but I don't really have any connection with any of their albums. So definitely Sepultura will be the keep for me.
Oh, Ryan, we need to hear that. We need to put out a heavy metallurgy album, and that one's going to be on there for sure.
I knew what I was saying, and I knew somebody out there.
I was going to say up here
with
the
that.
short bus means something totally different than it must down in your parts of the world.
No, probably the same thing. But no, I the chat gets that one for free. Have fun with it. Absolutely, Ryan. Please do. All right. Melanie, what about you on this one?
I would definitely do Christian, and that is only because I still have Beneath the Remains, Schizophrenia, Arise. Chaos AD was one of those ones that didn't really come to me when it first came out. Christian was more of a sentimental thing. It was given to me by my cousin. It was like, just here's a tape, listen to this. And I was like, what is this? So that's more of it. But yeah, I purposely chose Chaos AD because I don't think I would have picked Christian if I had chosen the other of the Sepultura albums.
All right. Who is next? Alan is next.
Okay. I will start us off for my first pair here. A couple of death metal classics. Let's do Florida versus Sweden. So Morbid Angel, Altars of Madness versus Dismembers Like an Ever-Flowing Stream.
That is
Right,
so
Alan
stupid.
comes in on
So
his short bus.
stupid. He just always
He's
comes up with
violent.
Fucker.
get it back on the short bus, you fuck.
The bus is parked. And we are not getting back in gear until everybody picks one. So again, for the chat, I did not pull albums, but for the chat, one more time, we've got Morbid Angels, Altars of Madness, paired up against Dismembers Like an Ever-Flowing Stream. One of the best from Florida, one of the best from Sweden.
Which is the only connection there.
Yeah,
they're both seminal death metal albums, early 90s.
Okay.
It's a very
I
fair
for sure thought
pairing.
this was going to come from Simon. I didn't think it was going to come from Alan.
He just mean. He pulls mean pairings.
You're mean.
Mean.
Apparently,
right.
I touched a nerve, but you still have to choose. So, Marty, you're very aghast at this, so let's put you on the spot first.
I need a minute to think about it. Someone else can go.
I'll go.
Ben can go.
Altars of Madness is a perfect record.
It is.
Nothing wrong with it. And I'm not saying anything's wrong with Like an Ever-Flowing Stream.
Nothing wrong with that.
I don't love it. It's pretty good. I haven't listened to it very much. It really.
What did you say? That's it.
Ooh, 25 minutes in, and the first friendship has ended.
Look at here's kind of where the timeline of my like death metal fandom is illustrated, because it was black metal for me most of the way up until 5 or so years ago. And then I kind of really started to get back to hammering back into some of the classics. And yeah, I've had like an Ever-Flowing Stream in my collection for years, but I just haven't listened to it very much. Yeah.
Okay. So
I'm kind of a grave guy.
that's fair. All right. Melanie, you want to take a stab at this one?
This is really tough because I don't love other Morbid Angel albums.
I was going to say, there's people here saying I have other Morbid Angel albums. Yeah, there's some great Morbid Angel records, but none of them are as good as Altars. Altars.
I don't. Yeah. Like Blessed of the Sick. Yeah. Covenant. Yeah. Like those are probably the other two that I listen to the most outside of Altars. I don't. Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. Alan picks mean ones. He's just.
But to be honest, Dismember is more of the death metal that I enjoy the most at this moment. Like it's got a little bit more of that darker side of it to it. I mean, Altars obviously does too. And it's probably the one that I listen to the most right now. Maybe when I was younger, it was definitely Altars of Menace because Morbid Angel, like iconic, and Dismember came a little bit later in my life. But for right now, where I am in my life, I'm probably gonna just go with Dismember. And then now I'll say this and listen to Altars tomorrow and just be like, what was wrong with me?
You can't. That's the problem. You can't. It's gone.
It's done. So I guess
people will not let you take it back. Trust me.
No. I know. Alan,
yes, you do.
Your time is coming. Your time is coming now. Wait.
Yeah, we know how this. We know how this ends. It doesn't.
I can't. I really can't let go. Oh, God damn it, Ben. Can I at least keep the album cover?
No. I tell you what I'll do. I will make you a
there's
one-time
no
deal.
concessions.
One-time deal. You can keep the jigsaw puzzle of the cover, but it'll be missing 15 pieces.
I don't even own that. I'd have to give Eric money for that, which I don't want to do.
That is my only offer.
I'm just gonna go with Dismember because I know I'm gonna regret it. It's one of the like OG presses that I've been wanting to get in my collection. Whereas Authors of Madness, there's been so many represses. I'm just like, whatever. I'm happy with this. For that reason alone, I'm just gonna be okay with my pick.
This one's been pressed too much. It's too commercial for me right now.
It's gotten a little bit
too mainstream
for me. It's got a little too commercial for me.
Okay, Marty, we've bought you all the time you're going to get.
I don't know. There is a level of youthful triumph and intensity and excitement about Like an Ever-Flowing Stream. I listen to that. It blows me away that it was made by kids, essentially. And I mean, I like an Ever-Flowing Stream better than Left Hand Path. I mean, they're so comparable. I think Dismember had the better sound. You listen to a song like Override the Overture. What a crazy song structurally, but it just works so good because of the sound, the fucking fire and intensity of it. And then Morbid Angel.
Picked Miss Dismember instead of Entombed.
Yeah. But the Morbid Angel album is absolutely perfect from the production to every note. I mean, but you know what? Dismember has got a longer list of albums that are killer. I mean, Dismember for me have only had like one misstep, and it was Massive Killing Capacity. That album was their obvious. We're going to be even more like
you're stalling.
I am stalling, but I'm trying to come about a reason here that I'm going to shit can an album that I love and never get sick of, which is Like an Ever-Flowing Stream, in favor of Altars of Madness. I'm going to pick Altars of Madness because it is a perfect, evil, killer Morbid Angel album.
Okay.
It is perfect.
Also, for me, it's like the very definition of the border between thrash and death metal.
Yeah, I mean, it's old. You could tell it's guys that came from the thrash scene making death metal. It's cool, but man,
it's cool.
I still Like an Ever-Flowing Stream, man. It's an air guitar album for me. That thing is just so sinister.
Not anymore, it's not.
No, I know. Anyway, what are you gonna say there, Chuckles?
Oh, I gave my answer earlier. You weren't paying attention.
I didn't. What did you say?
Yeah. Watch the tape later and find out.
No, it's good. Let's replay it right now. What were you going to say?
If I'm going to pick here, I will keep the Morbid Angel. I will let the Dismember go. Dismember is fine. It's not a band I've connected with as much as some other folks have. I've always had a little trouble getting past the similarities to Entombed. I'm looking forward to checking them back out. I'm planning to pick up the reissues that are supposed to come out this year. So maybe 6 months from now, I would change that answer. But for now, I'm pretty happy keeping the Morbid Angel.
All right. I guess swinging back around to me.
We'll do one more pass, and then we'll unleash the hounds in the chat because I think they're starting to chomp at the bit.
They need to start doing this before you guys kill me because we're not even an hour in.
We're gonna put this pairing up today in celebration of our buddy Tanner's new band and album coming out, Majesties, over at $20 spin. Go check it out. It's pretty killer, old no fashion, Wrong Again records, melodic death metal worship. But anyway, we're gonna pit this one. The Psalms of Sordid Kings. Actually, this isn't the one I meant to pick. I picked the wrong one. I had him.
Fucker.
What's the second one? Aria of Vernal Tombs. I'm picking that one. I'm picking that. That was what I meant to pick. Up against Fall of the Leaf, Evanescence, Ever Fading, which is, if no one's ever heard this, you could tell the very spiritual successor of what Obsequiae is. Very similar melodic, super highly melodic castle style metal stuff. But yeah, that's that. It's awful quiet in here.
Yeah. Easy.
Oh, it's easy. Okay. What are you going with, Ben?
I obviously going to disagree with Tanner and go with Obsequiae. He's one of my best friends.
Right on.
I sent him a cookbook this week.
There you go.
And I didn't send one to Follow the Leaf, so fuck him.
Right on. Easy enough.
Also, Autumn Falls album covers are extremely boring. Hot take.
Autumn Falls. Oh, the new Autumn Fall. Yeah. Right on. Okay. Melanie.
Yeah, I'm going with Tanner as well. And that's just because I'm a huge fangirl of Tanner. I love all the music that he's put out. And I'm incredibly excited for the new Majesties album. Fall the Leaf didn't come into my repertoire until 5 or 6 years ago.
This is the only one I have, and it's awesome.
Yeah.
This is a great record.
It is a very good album. But I think I listened to those Sequoia albums far more. I would miss them way too much. I've also got several pressings of them, which is stupid. Just $20 really needs to just chill with the pressings. And usually every time they press something, I'm like, ooh, that's pretty. And it's only $20.
Because of people like you, that's why they do it.
And I got the CD in my car. So it's just, yeah. But yeah, I'm going to go with that. And Ben, you can tell him I love him. And I will also send him.
You can tell him in the chat.
That's what.
What's up?
In the chat?
Yep.
Nice.
All right. Alan, your thoughts?
I actually have not heard the Fall of the Leaf, so I like the Obsequiae quite a bit, but I can't really answer because I don't know the other album in the pair. I've heard it mentioned several times, but have never got around to checking it out.
All right.
So, Follow the Leaf.
Now, Marty, you have to answer too.
Well, I'm going with Obsequiae. I think this album is fantastic, but they fell off as they went, and I think Tanner really did a lot more with the sound, to be honest, on his albums, and continues to do so. So cheers to him. And if I never heard this Fall Leaf again, it'd be a bummer, but you know what? It's all good. Yep.
And Melanie, you're not the only one with multiple copies and pressings of the Obsequiae, so don't feel bad.
Yeah, let's talk about Pentagram or which.
No, Obsequiae. I've got at least 2 copies, if not 3, of the Obsequiae over there.
Yeah. Marty, I went to Binder Room the other day to look for the CD that you guys pressed because that's the only one I don't have on CD, and it's not there. And so then I went to Discogs and it's selling for like $100. Like, what is wrong with people? Wow. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, that's a bummer. It's so much, but yeah.
I think you can get on vinyl truck $20 spin.
You can.
I already have it on vinyl. Yeah, I have it on vinyl already.
But do you have this other color?
Right.
No, I think mine's like a green, like a Coke bottle with a green kind of splatter. It's one of the newer pressings that they did recently. So
okay, who is next?
I think is it me?
Sure.
Go for it.
Well, mine's strictly just for Alan. So I mean, maybe Marty, but
this is because of that Ordered Angel thing earlier, isn't it?
No, I pulled this. I had this queued up for the last time I was supposed to be on here to see if maybe you would possibly redeem yourself. So we've got Don't Break the Oath.
He's never heard that album before.
I know.
You have an excellent memory, Melanie.
We're gonna act like that never happens. And this pairing absolutely makes no sense, by the way. That's
all right. He thrives in that type of pairing.
I picked 2 of my all-time favorite albums and 2 albums that I know that everybody else loves.
In battle, there is no law, Marty.
And then Mob Rules. Black Sabbath.
So we'll be continuing as a 3-piece for the rest of the evening. Melanie's experiencing technical difficulties and will not be able to rejoin us for quite some time.
Yep.
Well, it's an easy one for me. I don't really care about either one of them. I'll take Fate.
Yeah. But it was unfortunately not towards you. But
Marty goes before I do.
Just remember the good times of green bean casserole, even though that was King Diamond. But still,
I had some green bean casserole on Thanksgiving, and I thought of all of you when I ate it.
I did.
You sent awesome. Melissa a picture of it, I think.
I did.
Yeah, I think you did.
Fuck. If I don't pick Mob Rules, I still have Rainbow Rising. Yeah, that's fair. Okay, I'm gonna keep my Merciful Fate because which is who invited her?
Wasn't me.
I think I invited myself, to be honest.
Oh, it's all good. Yeah, I mean, I love Mob Rules is my favorite Sabbath album. I know that might be a hot take, but it's my favorite Sabbath album. It's one of my favorite Dio performances. But I also equally love Rainbow Rising. So I'm gonna go with Merciful Fate because that's their best album. I got to keep that one. But yep.
Oh.
How about you, Alan?
Well, say both. Both rank very, very, very high for me. Probably my second favorite Sabbath album, maybe my first. It's one of the top two. The Merciful Fate's obviously a classic. If I had to sit down and rank album, write one of those top 25 lists, which just drives everybody crazy, but people like them. I honestly think the Black Sabbath is higher up the list. That album is practically perfect start to finish. There's only one track on it that I'm a little iffy on, and I don't even remember the name of it offhand. Merciful Fate's very, very timeless.
The dog Melly's dog was saying howl like a wolf and the witch will open the door.
I don't know if you can hear that or not.
Yeah. You know what? It's we're in the heart of winter, and I do believe the sign of the Southern Cross is in the sky. I want to keep the Black Sabbath, and once again, I have to overlook the Merciful Fate. The Sabbath is probably not only one of my top two Sabbath albums.
It's amazing album.
It's probably one of my 10 favorite albums from the 1980s. It really does rank that high. The Merciful Fate would be top 25. I don't know if it would get up to top 10. So that is my rationale for that. And I promise sooner or later I'll pick the Merciful Fate in some pair. But Mob Rules. If it had been Heaven and Hell, I would keep the Merciful Fate. But no, when you listen to Fools, the Mob Rules. I've said my piece.
Before we get into the folks picking, I do have one I picked for Ben. I kind of want to show real quick. I'm curious. I don't think this is a huge pairing that will get anybody mad, but I'm just curious what Ben would pick. Limbonic Arts, Moon and the Scorpio, or fellow countrymen, Tartaros, the Grand Psychotic Castle.
Ooh, wow, yeah. Well, we got an album versus an EP.
Oh, really? That's an EP. What do you know? I haven't listened to that one in a while.
So, gosh, I do love Tartaros more, but I think you're getting more meat with Moon and the Scorpio.
I think Moon and the Scorpio is probably their best.
Yeah. And it's the one I definitely listen to the most. For some reason, I got rid of my OG press of that. That's hard.
That's why I picked it.
Yeah.
Notice, Alan, there's a continuity here. They're both Norwegian. They both symphonic black metal.
That's nice.
It's kind of a nice thing, and you have like an aesthetic. You
should be. Why are you talking to me instead of Melanie?
Because you just mean ones.
Yes, Melanie did mean ones. Exactly.
A full length album. If Contreras was a full length album, I would probably pick it. But otherwise, I'm going with Avant-garde.
Anybody else have anything to say about these two? Or
were you there to see them in Milwaukee?
Who? Tartaros?
Avant-garde.
No, I saw Emperor with Charman Grimlock on keyboard, who forgot he had the wrong power inverter and just stage dove off the stage as opposed to playing.
Yeah, I would keep the Limbonic Art. I really like that album. I like their first two a lot, but that one in particular just has such a cool atmosphere. So, Limbonic Art for me.
Limbonic Art. How about you, Mel?
I don't know the Totoro, so it would have been Limbonic Art.
Right on.
Unfortunately, it's not one that I'm too familiar with.
I have not heard the Tartaros in forever, but the Limbonic Art is way up there in my black metal rankings.
I've even got a Tartaros hat.
Nice.
It's true.
Well, I've got the Tartaros thongs, so I mean,
less cool.
So there. If I had the hat, I'd have the matching set. Maybe we could work out a deal.
It's Tartaros, not Tartaras.
All right. Okay, everybody. Now is the time. Start throwing some pairings at us here. Right? We're ready. We're ready. We can take this.
Yep.
Finger on the trigger. I'm ready to hoist you up. Oh, wait. We got one right here. Kevin. Atheist, unquestionable presence or cynic focus.
Oh, I'll start on that one. Presence focus. I'll take Cynic. I like the Cynic album. I always had a little trouble getting into that Atheist album. So yeah, it's a good pairing. But yeah, for me, one of those I dig, and one of those is a little hard for me to wrap my head around. So I'll keep the Cynic, please.
Melanie?
I didn't really get into Atheist until 10, 15 years ago. And it was pretty much a very acquired taste for me. There's some stuff in there that I had a hard time wrapping my head around. But now I really love that album because I've listened to it so much. But I do really like that Cynic album. But I think I have more of an attachment for that Atheist. That is pretty much the only Cynic album that I'm very familiar with, too. But I'm gonna go with Atheist. That's the one I'm more familiar with, the one that I know more about, the one that I probably listen to more. When I miss it, I don't know, but I know I won't miss the Cynic one.
All right. Ben stepped out, so I'll answer. I will go with Cynic as well. I like the Atheist a lot. Atheist is a band. I listen to their debut a lot. That's kind of like the perfect mix between really catchy, heavy death metal riffs and the tech flavorings. They got a lot techier and a little bit more prog on Unquestionable Presence, which I like, but I think I'd have to go with Cynic. I think it's a little bit more experimental and kind of interesting. It's a cool album. What about you, Ben?
Focus for me. Love that one. And this is also very essential Cynic demos compilation.
Oh yeah, it's cool. Yeah.
Somebody called that out. Yeah, somebody called that out in the chat too.
Simon's killing us.
Yep, you got a couple of super chats there, Marty.
Oh shit. Okay. Well, let me get to this one here while I scroll down. While it's right, I have my finger on the trigger. Tim, Jag Panzer, Ample Destruction versus Fate's Warning, Awaken the Guardian.
Thanks, Tim. You think people are nice. You think people are your friends. You think wrong.
Fate Warning. I take Fate Warning.
I just
While
they're thinking, this is an easy one for me. Jag Panzer, Ample Destruction, I got last year on CD finally. Never I've had a bunch of later day Jag Panzer albums which were fine, but I finally picked up Ample Destruction, or maybe Alan sent that to me. I can't remember, one or the other. However it pans out. I like the album. I think it's really good, but it is no way messing with the awesome atmosphere of Awaken the Guardian. That album is top 5 for me, hands down. What about you, Melanie?
Yeah, I'm gonna do Fate's Warning too. That's probably like a top 20 album for me. Even though I just listened to this album, like the Jag Panzer, like 3 days ago.
Wait a minute, that's death metal.
No, I'm telling you, like whenever I watch a heavy metallurgy stream or talk to one of you guys, it's like power metal goes in. That's what I listen to.
You're welcome.
No, I'm gonna do Fate's Warning. I just, yeah, because I know I end up listening to it more.
Right on. How about you, Alan?
Yeah, thanks, Tim. I think Jack put it best in the comments a couple of minutes ago. Jag Panzer is one of those rare albums that could challenge the Fate's Warning, but I think the answer is still in this case to keep Awaken the Guardian. And it's going to take me a long time to get rid of all these copies of Ample Destruction. I think I'm up to 11. So
you have a hammer, don't you? Let's just get the process started. You might take.
No one ever said you had to destroy them physically.
Take the rest of the stream for you to destroy them all, but you know.
No, some of these colored vinyl copies. Now, if I'm getting rid of them, I'm bankrolling a part of the little boy's college education as I do so. Thank you very much.
Right on. All right.
Yeah, Jack pointed the way, and I'm following his lead. Absolutely.
I may have only heard that Jack Panzer album once in the last couple years.
It's good. It's good. Good album. It's not Fates Warning good, but it's good. Jack, thank you so much. Oblivion from this day forward versus Infernal Majesty's None Shall Defy.
Marty's never heard that album.
I have never heard that album. So for me, it's None Shall Defy because that Infernal Majesty album rules. Stupidest cover ever, but a killer fucking album.
Is this even a pairing that makes sense?
I don't know. It in Alan's world is probably perfect.
I can't really say. I have no dog in this fight with these pairs. So yeah, I can't answer this one. I don't know either album well enough to ring in.
Those Oblivion CDs I've tried to get on eBay and they're very pricey. And I refused at the time to buy a Russian bootleg. I could have got the Russian bootlegs for cheap, but I ended up not. And now they're off of eBay because of obviously Russia is doing their thing. So, yeah, there's that. So I've still never heard the Oblivion. Ben, how about you?
For me, they're kind of two different things. I would go with None Shall Defy. I get more out of the kind of early thrash. I think Poor Man's Slayer is like a genre to me. I kind of like it more than Slayer. And Infernal Majesty does that just right for me.
They're really good.
I'm not very familiar with that Oblivion, honestly.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Infernal Majesty, even though that's probably the one in Oblivion that I'm not as familiar with.
And before I move down to the next super chat, BSE had really put up a good one here. I'm gonna share this one because it's right there.
Okay.
Vinder's Arntor versus Ulver's Bergtot. This is a tough one. It really is.
Okay. I'll go first on this one. I would keep the Ulver only because I don't have nearly as much history with the Vendor. You know, that was a band I only discovered recently thanks to you in Austin. So, yeah, a good pairing from BSE. But yeah, Ulver's Bergtat I've been listening to for over 20 years. So I would have to keep that one at this point in time. I bought you 20 seconds.
Ben?
Bergtot all day, every day. Easy. Vindir is kind of a new-ish thing for me. They weren't really a thing when I was first getting into metal, and Bergtot definitely was one of those cornerstone early atmospheric black metal albums for me. I'd say I got into Vindir maybe like right before he died or so, 2001 or something like that. But
well, I will say that Arntor album is my favorite of his. I love that record. It is pure Norwegian excellence. So is Bergtot. So I bought you a minute, Melanie. What do you think?
I'm gonna go with Vindir. I love the other three albums by them as well, but that is my favorite one. And I still have Noddens or Howard Noddens, whatever that Madrigal over one. That I probably like a little bit more. Yeah. I'm gonna do Vindir. I can, you guys just killed me this stream.
We haven't gotten nasty yet.
This one got hard early tonight, it feels like.
Well, they always do. They always do.
This is a fluff fest so far.
So you went with Winder. Okay. For me, let's go. There are more excellent Vinder albums than there are excellent Ulver albums, in my opinion. I know that's gonna start ducking the garbage, but I'm gonna go with Bergtot. I love that record. I love it. It's so good. It's so is Arntor. I mean, that's my favorite of his. That's a tough one. Good one. Simon's got one here. Thank you so much, Simon, and also fuck you. Carcass's Necroticism up against Bolt Throwers for victory. Suck it, y'all. Okay.
Yeah, Simon's things are getting heavy here early on.
Damn it.
See, I'll buy everybody some time again. For Victory, I love, but there are a lot of other Bolt Thrower albums I also love. Necroticism, I love, and I may be wrong. I feel like the Carcass catalog is a little shorter. So maybe I'm thinking maybe I keep the Necroticism because there's fewer Carcass albums on that level compared to a lot of the rest of the Bolt Thrower is a close second or on the same level as For Victory. I'm going to do that. I'm going to use that rationale and say that, I want to keep the Necroticism over the For Victory in this case, just because, Bolt Thrower's discography, for me personally, is a little deeper than Carcass's discography. I will keep Necroticism on this particular night.
I'm not getting paid
looks so
enough
sad.
for this.
What's that, Ben?
I'm not getting paid enough to make these decisions.
I thought this was easy, Ben. I thought this was a fluff.
Yeah, he's been like, this one easy all day, no problem. Morbid Angel, no
This
problem.
is a milk run, man, and now all of a sudden it's like, that's it, man, game over.
Fuck. Yeah, for me, those are neck and fucking neck.
It's a good pair. It is. Simon knows what he's doing.
I think Carcass has maybe a few more turds in their discography than Bolt Thrower. I've got some very fond memories with Necroticism. Just maybe a few more than with For Victory. For Victory might be a better album, but I might pick Necroticism because I love it so dearly.
That's fair.
Tough.
Melanie?
All right.
I'm going with Necroticism, and that is only because, and this is probably going to make a lot of people mad, all Bolt Thrower sounds the same to me. And the
For
Fourth
Victory
Crusade,
is the best. Absolute perfect riff album. Perfect.
It is a good album, and
Perfect.
I do think it is their best, but I absolutely love Carcass, and Necroticism and Heartwork and Symphonies are like three of my all-time favorite metal albums, whereas Bolt Thrower came a little bit, later in my life. So I'm gonna go with that. I would regret it if I picked Bolt Thrower over this Carcass album. If it was maybe no. I can't think of no Swan Song Carcass. Maybe I would be like, okay, yeah,
Well,
it's for Victory.
It'd be like one song against Gorefest Erase. Okay, Necroticism for you. What is it for me? These are two. This one cut kind of deep because Carcass. I've spun that record easily a million times. No lie. And that was a very, very big part of my extreme metal development. Was that album? It's perfect. Even the samples. Typically, albums with samples at the beginning of every song, it gets old after decades of spinning, but they become part of the song on this album. I don't know how it works or why. I say the sample along with it and then start the head banging afterwards. And For Victory is a perfect album. It's a perfect riff album. I love it. It is the culmination of what Bolt Thrower were doing before it. They perfected it and they wrote riff after riff after riff and crafted them into song after song after song of perfection. Absolute war metal perfection. God damn it, Simon. I'm picking Carcass because there are more, like Melanie said, I can fall back on Fourth Crusade. I can go to War Master. I mean, all that stuff. Is it as good as For Victory? It is not. But Necroticism is, there's only two for me really crushingly amazing Carcass albums, and it's Symphonies, Necroticism. I like Heartwork. I don't love Heartwork. Anyway, moving on. Alan, you picked already, didn't you?
Yes, I think we've got everybody has rung in on this one, and you've got about 3 super chats waiting for your attention.
I got the next one loaded up here. Dizzy, Brave Murder Day versus Bergtot, the Battle of Purple. Indeed.
Purple Brave Murder Day. Okay, this is an interesting pair. Ooh. Anybody want to jump on this one right away? If not, I will. But if folks need a moment,
I can go.
Okay.
Pretty easy for me. Bergtot. I don't like Brave Murder Day.
Really? Don't like it?
Don't like it.
What is it about it, do you think?
It's boring.
Okay, fair enough.
I like Day. Day. That song "Day" sounds like The Cure to me, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'll keep Brave Murder Day simply because I play that one a lot more than I reach for Bergtat. Nothing wrong with Bergtat at all. I picked it in an earlier pairing, but I do like that Catatonia album a lot, and it is one I will go back to on a more regular basis. So I'll keep the Catatonia. Melanie?
I mean, I have to keep the Catatonia. I didn't pick Bergtot last time.
Brave Murder Day versus
reasoning.
Ellipsis.
this reasoning. I love it.
Although I would have gone with Ulver in this one. But
well, you can go with Ulver on this one.
We can MC you back in time and let you see the timeline when Ulver was still on it.
There's a timeline somewhere out there in an alternate reality where I can't listen to Keepers. Was it 2 or 1? I can't remember, Alan. I'm
1
sure.
and 2 and Walls of Jericho. And
really? Oh shit!
You got rid of almost the entire Halloween discography.
Oh, that's a bad timeline for that fat bastard.
You're down to Chameleon and 3 Andy Darris records.
At least I have Chameleon. Anyway, Alan picked Brave Murder Day. Melanie picked Ulver. I am picking.
Ben has picked Ulver. You're picking.
I mean, I really like that. I really like that Catatonia. It's the last one that's really. I mean, I like some of the stuff after it too, but that one. I mean, I like Ackerfeld's vocals on it, like the vibe of it. But I think Bergtat's a more exciting album, and I really like Garm's scathing black metal voice better than his singing voice. So yes, I'm going to go with Ulver on that one.
That's fair.
Next one up. We got Todd from Canis Dearest. Cheers, brother. Von Art Guitars. Go check them out on YouTube. Go check out some Von Art Guitars. Borknagar self-titled, and thank you for the super chat, man. You didn't have to do that. It's craziness. Crazy. Borknagar self-titled album or Arcturus Asperia Hymns Sophina.
Ooh, boy.
That's a cool pairing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
it's the Borknagar self-titled. Okay. Yeah. Ben, do you want to go first, or do you need a moment?
That's a very, very good pairing. Very hard. I think I may have played Asperia Symphonia a bit more than self-titled. I may have played it a little bit too much. I love it to death. I'm not tired of self-titled Borknagar. I don't think. In fact, I've been meaning to pick up that reissue that has the remastering and I think some bonus songs on it that were from those sessions. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Borknagar just because of that. I think I like Asperia a little bit more. But there's more time for me to spend with self-titled. Garm's early era and vocals is like one of my favorite black metal singers.
Crushing. Crushing.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing.
Yeah, I'm kind of like you, Ben. Well, I think maybe I misheard. The self-titled Borknagar is one that I somehow just missed. I picked up with them on the second album. It just somehow it was a very long time before I backtracked to the first one. Matt from the Dark Path actually, kind of brought that to my attention a while back. So I've got more history with the Arcturus. So I guess I'll keep the Arcturus. But yeah, it's more just that I don't have nearly as many rotations with the Borknagar. But yeah, it's a very cool pairing. I was glad. Thought that was a good one to come up with.
Yeah.
All right, Melanie, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm going with Arcturus. The Borknagar is not one that I'm too close to.
Okay.
Yeah. I really don't have that much of a dog in this fight for that reason. So I feel good with my pick.
Easy one for me. It's a good pairing. I would have to go with the Borknagar. That is my favorite Borknagar album because it is the most true, straight up Norwegian black metal. They started to get a little bit more.
Oh yeah.
I don't know, experimental, proggy, whatever. Garm started singing, which I didn't like. I thought he was kind of out of key a lot. I don't know. I'm not a singer. It's hard. It just, I like that Arcturus album. I think it's good. It's really kind of herky jerky for me. It's kind of weird. I like it. I've always liked it.
Super weird. The balls it took for those teenagers to record that thing. Huge clearance.
Yeah, totally. I mean, I love the the spirit behind it, but I love that Borknagar record. It's just super scathing, killer Norwegian black metal with some cool ambient type of atmosphere put in between with Ivar from Enslaved. It's a great record. It's a great Norwegian black metal classic that I think gets kind of lost in time as that band progressed and started getting more mature. They put the sweaters on. They took off the Mayhem shirts and the Bathory shirts and put on their fucking sweaters and started making more, something you drink a wine and smoke a pipe to. I don't know. Whatever. That's for me. How about you, Alan? Did you choose on this one?
I did. I think we've all rang in on this one.
All right. $5. Thank you, brother. Appreciate that. Dissection. This is for Melanie, it looks like. Dissection. Yep. Storm of the Lights, Bane, or Slipknot, Iowa.
This is somebody that clearly watches my videos and understands how much Slipknot Iowa means to me. Oh fuck. I literally want to cry. So the Slipknot Iowa is literally the only Slipknot album that I could probably not live without. Every other album I'd be fine with never hearing again. It's one of those influential albums. A lot of personal things. Dissection. I really love the Somber Lane, and for that reason, and I go back and forth between Somber Lane and Storm, depending on time of the year for me. I'm going to go with Dissection. Even though he's a piece of shit fucker, it's morally wrong. I just freaking, I don't know. I listen to that more than I do Slipknot now. And I'm going to go away from my emotional ties here and go with that Dissection. It's just, I mean, again, God damn. You can subscribe to me now on. Yeah, no, I think for the time of my life right now, if you had asked me this, like 15 years ago, I would have said Slipknot, because Dissection was one of those bands that I just hadn't fully gotten into yet.
You'll grow out of
it. But now I think I've grown out of it a little bit more, and Dissection is one of those ones that I can't live without. Those two albums, even though I don't think Rain Chaos is as awful as a lot of people say.
Who says that?
We won't get there. I think every stream that comes up and we get into a conversation about it.
I'm next.
What's up, Ben? Which one did you pick?
Oh, come on.
Yeah, I think the rest of us can just.
You live in Iowa. I was just wondering if there might have been, some sort of a hometown
represent.
Yeah,
I've never heard that shit.
Yeah, I think the rest of us can just then agree to agree that it's probably Dissection.
I'm not gatekeeping. I'm just not participating. But I mean, I'm next for the pick.
All right. Oh, go ahead. Do you have one?
Yeah.
Okay. Which one? Which one?
Well, we're talking about Rain Chaos. So we got a 4 for here. Rain Chaos versus Cold Lake.
So we're going in that direction.
Yes.
Um,
Not like you choose the one that you want to get rid of forever.
Well, I'll go first. Both albums suck, but Rain Chaos is a better album than Cold Lake. Easily. For the song Starless Eon, and the instrumental on that record is pretty okay.
Oh, come on.
The rest of it, yeah.
You found a dead mouse in your pie and you ate it.
I do love pie. I do love me some pie. Yep. Mouse or no mouse. How about you, Melanie?
I don't like that Cold Lake album.
It's crap.
At all.
It's terrible.
It's understandable.
Like that. I mean, I'm not a hater of Ringcast at all. I don't. I don't think I've always said that if that album came out at a different time under a different band name, I think people would have appreciated it a lot more.
I think so. Yeah.
So I use that as an excuse to liking it. So yeah, I'm just gonna go with Dissection again.
Would the same be true of the Dissection album if it had come out under a different name? Would it have gotten better reception?
That's what she was saying. The Dissection.
Oh, I thought she was referring to the Celtic Frost.
No, the Celtic Frost album still.
The Celtic Frost might actually have the same. If it had been under a different band name, it would probably not have gotten nearly as much.
Not with those vocals. Not with Tom's.
I'm not saying it would have been album of the year, but it wouldn't have gotten lambasted the way it did.
Because you got to look at the hair metal scene. They had two things. They had great shredders and they had great singers. They really did. Tom is not doing great singing on that. It's very fucking awkward. And
Martin, I have 4 words for you. Brett Michaels, Ricky Rocket.
Simon said Bon Jovi.
So what's the consensus? I'm going with Dissection.
Dissection.
I'm keeping the Cold Lake.
I'm keeping Cold Lake. We're split then.
I can have a little fun with Cold Lake.
So then we've got Soul Survivor versus Saint Anger.
Soul Survivor.
God.
Gorefest.
Metallica's
Saint Anger. That's an easy one. Gorefest, because that Soul Survivor album sucks, but it's not as bad as Erase. The Race is so bad. Soul Survivor is a step up for sure. And Saint Anger, there's some good singing on that record, but it's not a good record.
I don't think I've ever heard Soul Survivor, but I'll keep it and take my chances.
Right?
I can't.
All right.
Can't.
So then we pick whatever you pick for the first pairing versus whatever you pick for the second pairing. So for me, it would be Cold Lake versus
Soul Survivor.
Ugh.
Jeez. I didn't.
Hey.
Well, this worked out great for me since the Soul Survivor I had no stake in. I guess I'm keeping the cherry. I guess I'm dwelling in the cherry orchards and keeping the Cold Lake.
I think I am too. I think it's Celtic Frost's best album.
No. Yeah, Soul Survivor for me.
Okay.
Melanie?
Is mine against Soul Survivor and Celtic Frost too?
I don't know.
I think you had Ringcast.
Whichever two you pick. Yeah.
I said Ringcast. Oh, it's still gonna be Dissection. I really do not like those albums. Okay. So
yeah. So yeah, kind of a fun break there for sort of reverse keeper reap, which a couple of folks have mentioned in the chat tonight. They would like to see us try to do sometime. Yeah, kind of go in the opposite direction and figure out which albums we're stuck with rather than which albums we want to keep. So maybe we will keep that in mind, folks, and maybe we will give that a try in a future episode. That could be a lot of fun.
I have 2 good forfers.
All right,
we'll rotate those back in just a bit. But Marty, I believe you got at least one super chat to catch up on, and a lot of other good pairs that have popped up too. So let's get to some of those chat picks, please, sir.
Yep, I missed that one. Jack Half Prayer, thanks, man. Cenotaph, Black Oceans versus the Chasm, Death Cult.
Wait, let me double check what's on Death Cult. I sometimes get my Chasm albums a little mixed up.
Oh, it's Chasm all day, man. Chasm. That Death Cult album is really, really obtuse, cool, dark album. It's very weird. It's a cool record. I really like that record. Cenotaph, Black Oceans, good stuff. Heavy killer Mexican death. Yeah, I'm sticking with Chasm. Got to go with my man. Daniel.
Yeah.
How about you, Ben? Chasm?
I've always wanted to get a copy of that Cenotaph, but I have maybe heard it once. So, yeah, I'd go with Chasm. I can't remember which copies their discography. The Chasm has so many killer albums. I haven't always been a fan. I've probably seen them live more times than the albums I have of theirs. They're so consistent.
Yeah, they really are. Okay, yeah, this is their third album. Yeah, I got it.
Yeah.
Got it locked in now. Yeah, Chasm for me, the Cenotaph is pretty cool, but like Ben said, the Chasm's just a step up. So, and I don't. Is there a bad Chasm album? I don't think there is. What do y'all think, Marty and Melanie?
Chasm for me.
Chasm.
Chasm for everybody. Okay, Chasm gets the clean sweep there. Thank you, Jack.
Thank you, Jack.
Appreciate that.
Appreciate
All right,
it.
Marty, you've got lots of others that in the chat to work through.
All right. There's one here right underneath it. Steve from Metal Mayhem 777. He's got an old pick with a newer band. We got Destruction's Release from Agony versus 1914, where Fear and Weapons meet.
Oh, okay.
I'll start. I got to go with Destruction. I mean, I think 1914 are killer. I like that record a lot. I think Destruction has got a more of a unique sound. Back in the day, the older bands all kind of had their own lane, whereas 1914 are killer. But they have a very modern sound, which isn't a bad thing. Don't get me wrong here, but it's a little less unique than maybe the Destruction. And that is not my favorite of the first 3 Destruction records. I like that record a lot, but I'd have to go with Destruction for me. I'd keep Destruction and get rid of the 1914. Next.
Yeah, I would keep the Destruction too, and I'd agree with everything you said. 1914 is very cool. I like their sound. That album is maybe just a tad long for its own good. By the end of it, you feel like you've been through World War One, just in terms of duration. And yeah, it's not my favorite of the early Destruction albums, but it's still Destruction, in their prime. So I'll keep the Destruction. But 1914 is a very cool band.
Ryan rules.
I've never heard 1914. I don't need another band with numbers for their name, so Destruction.
Melanie?
No,
324 and 1349.
Yeah, Destruction. Although the 1914 album is really good.
It's a good album.
You can get that sound from other newer black metal World War bands like Cannon Fiber and those other ones that are out.
Here's one for maybe a little more geared towards Alan. We've got Macabre with Loudness, Thunder in the East, or Anthem's Tightrope.
Okay, yeah, some classic Japanese bands here. Let me just take a quick look at what's on that Loudness album. I remember the anthems.
That Rock and Roll Crazy Nights is on that one, isn't it?
That's what I'm trying to double check because I don't want to.
That was their hit single here in America.
Let's see. Thunder in the East. Yeah, because there are some Loudness albums I don't know, but there are some that I can get mixed up. Thunder in the East. Yeah, their 85 album. Yes, with Crazy Nights. Okay, yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah, that's a cool pair.
Hey, Mikey Bananas, good to see you, man. Hope you're doing well.
Loudness could be the better album. I've got a little bit of a soft spot for that particular Anthem album, though. The Tightrope one. It's a fun album. Musically, the cover art, everything. It has those nice little quirks that pop up with a lot of Japanese bands in that era that make them very endearing and help give them that little bit of an individuality. I think I'll keep the Anthem Tightrope for that pair. But that was a cool pair, not one I would have thought of. Anybody else got a dog in that fight?
I pick Loudness because it's the only one I've heard. I have not heard the Anthem.
Okay.
Never even heard of Anthem.
No, I don't even know who Anthem is.
I've heard of them. I've seen their albums. I've just never picked them up.
Yeah. Just another kind of traditional heavy metal band from Japan from that era. So okay.
Here's a good one. Is everybody good on that one? I'm moving on.
Moving on.
We've got In Flames, The Jester Race versus Dark Tranquillities, The Gathering. I was listening to The Jester Race as I cooked dinner tonight. No shit.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good head-to-head kind of pair.
Yep.
That's a smart pair.
I'm going with Jester Race all day. I mean, they're both killer records, but that In Flames album is really special. There's just a really warm atmosphere, and the songwriting is exceptional. It's really good. Great record. Love that record.
The chat's got some good ones. Bunch of pricks in there. Jester Race for me.
Yeah.
It's a perfect album.
I want to double check. I think I know what my answer is.
I'm just gonna come out and say it. I don't really care for Dark Tranquility. Just never really did it for me. A lot of people don't like that, but I don't know. Maybe I need to try again, but I just never could do it.
Yeah, I'll take In Flames in this pair. If it had been a different Dark Tranquility album, I would not. But I like the Gallery quite a bit, but it's not my favorite Dark Tranquility album. It might be second. There's one I'd put higher, and that one would beat out Just a Race. But that was not the one chosen, so I can't pick it. In Flames stays. And yes, yeah, both really, really great albums, no doubt.
And I get it about Dark Tranquility. I mean, they've put out some classic records. They were there at the very beginning of that whole thing. I just think other bands kind of took over and ran with it. I mean, I don't want to say that because Dark Tranquility, they're still putting out stuff, but it just seemed, I don't know if it was just depending on what record label they fell on. I always gravitated toward other bands. I mean, I've got a handful of Dark Tranquility records. I never listen to them. I find myself never listening to them.
It was the Gallery was the just answering a question in the chat. Yeah, it was Jester Race versus the Gallery was the original pair.
I feel like they maybe fit way too many riffs in their songs for it to be like a casual listen. It's kind of a hill to climb, isn't it?
Yeah, sure. Absolutely. Hey, 103 people in the chat. Thank you all for hanging out with us again. It's awesome to have all of you hanging out with us tonight and
it is
talking shit about stuff we'd throw in the garbage can or keep forever. It's all good.
There's a lot of sharks circling in the chat waiting for a chance to make us cry, I think is what it comes down to.
Got one queued up here. Nikki's got a good one.
Okay.
We've got what about Sinister's Afterburner versus Benediction's Transcend the Rubicon?
Interesting.
My favorite Benediction album. I love that one. That's their kind of their
Rubicon's cool. Yep.
Kind of their bolt thrower for victory.
Sinister Afterburner. Yeah, I would take the Benediction in this case. I'm not very familiar with that Sinister album. I'm sure I've heard it a couple of times, but yeah, like you said, Marty, if you're going to keep a Benediction album, that's the one you keep.
That's the one to keep. Yeah.
I'm going with Benediction. If it had been Diabolical Summoning for Sinister, that might have been a little bit harder for me because I do really love that album.
Yeah.
If it had been Cross the Sticks, that would be
Oh, Cross the Sticks is a fave of mine.
But yeah, I'm gonna go with Benediction on this one.
How about you, Ben?
I don't really like Benediction. I've never heard that Sinister album. So Sinister.
I'm picking Sinister. I mean, I love that Benediction album. It's one of the I own 2 Benediction albums. That is one of them, and it's the one I had on tape since I came out. I love it. But Sinister just has a sound I love, and that Afterburner album is them kind of getting back on track. Kind of thrashy styled riffs that are still death metal, but really catchy in spite of being super technical. And the title track, Afterburner, great fucking song. So yeah, I would keep Sinister. I would keep Sinister over the Benediction here. Although that's a great fucking Benediction album. I love that record.
All right, Marty, I'm going to pick one here if that's okay.
Go for it. Yeah. I'm just kind of trying to go down a list here.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's so many good ones, but Devin, I thought, has an interesting pair. So hey, Devin, good to see you in the chat.
Hey, Devin, what's up?
Yeah, if folks have not been keeping up with Devin's videos, he's always showing tons of cool vinyl over on his channel, so don't forget to check that out. And Devin has asked us to choose between At the Gates, The Red in the Sky Is Ours, versus the first Dawn album. We're just going to go with that pronunciation.
That's tough.
Targeted.
Kind of a cool pairing. Yeah, figured there might be some ulterior motives here. For me, it would be the first. Neither of these are my favorite album by either band, but I would keep the Dawn in this matchup.
Oof.
Dawn, I like Dawn a lot, and even though it's not my favorite Dawn material, it's still Dawn. It's still pretty damn good. So Dawn for me.
I'm going with Dawn too. I've been on this show many times saying that I know Ben will, next time he sees me, just take me to a bathroom and give me a swirly in the fucking toilet at the club. But I'm gonna go with Dawn. I like that At the Gates record, but I think it's kind of a mess. I don't like Tampa's vocals are wrecked.
Messes.
Huh? What's that?
You love messes.
I love having my hairs washed. Yeah. Dawn for me. I think they're a better band at that point. I don't like the violin in that. I thought it was way out of place too. We're on Peaceville. We got to have a violin. We're in Peaceville. My dang bride. Ooh, look at us.
Yeah.
Didn't work.
No, come on now.
Anyway,
All right.
next.
All right, Monday.
Haven't heard from everybody.
I'm going with At the Gates, and only because I like Slaughter Son just a little bit more, and I'll still have that, and I still have Dissection, I still have Sacramentum, and that's really one of the only At the Gates
Well,
albums.
the night isn't over yet. You don't know what you're going to have at the end of the night.
So yeah, I'm
One
going.
distro might have a lot more of Melanie's what the hell is this? I can't see what it is shit in there for cheap, everybody. So and we forgot to mention Melanie does do a distro as well. Born Dead distro. Go check it out. I bought numerous things from her. She's super quick with the shipping. Good prices, good selection. Go check out her distro. I should have.
Holy shit, Melly. Thank you.
It's a little dead right now because I haven't gotten new stuff in, but and give me about a month, and there'll be more stuff in there.
Right on.
I don't know how you do it. I hate going to the post office.
Oh.
Yep. It sucks.
See. Ben, have you made a choice here?
No. They're both perfect albums for me. But I can't get enough of the Dawn album. I'm never tired of listening to Dawn.
No violins in that one.
There are.
Is there?
I think so.
Huh. It's been a while since I spun that one. It's usually Slaughter Son when I listen to Dawn.
Eh.
All right, Marty, we've got a super chat to catch up on.
Todd, again, thank you, man. You didn't have to do that. Ripping Corpse, Dreaming with the Dead, or Hate Eternal. Ooh, Conquering the Throne. There we go. There's a connection there. You got the Eric Rutan connection.
Yeah.
I can't. I've got to tap out on this one. I don't know these albums well enough to be running my mouth. So
I just found an OG press of that Dreaming with the Dead used at Vertigo Records in Grand Rapids for $5.99.
Did I send you a copy of that?
You sent me a copy of it with all the original artwork, but a CDR.
That's right.
Yep. I got it now with the whole package. It's for $5.99. Couldn't believe it.
You know, I've noticed that is not as rare as you might think. There's copies out there, $10 or so. It's weird.
So I mean, I don't know if I got a super great deal, but I was happy with it at the time. Yeah. So
yep.
We'll start with Melanie. What do you think? That's a good pairing. That's a good one. I'm sorry, Alan. I didn't mean to.
Oh no, it's good.
I'm probably gonna go with the Hate Eternal. Man, that's tough. My dog is ruining, so I don't know if you can hear that. She was not happy with that. Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Hate Eternal.
Mom's dissing the classics.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with Hate Eternal, and hopefully this doesn't come back up again.
Ben's Hate Eternal. I'm gonna go with Hate Eternal.
So good.
I think the Hate Eternal is a more interesting. I mean, the Ripping Corpse is a classic for sure, but I think Hate Eternal, the songwriting is a little bit more interesting than that one. Yeah, I'm going with Hate Eternal. You had what did you say, Alan? You didn't.
I don't know either album well enough to cast a vote, so I'll sit that one out.
Okay, let me see here.
You can divorce that Hate Eternal album from the rest of their discography because Doug Cerrito from Suffocation leaves, and the guitar player to Two members of Suffocation aren't in the band after that, and they kind of changed. And Tim Young too.
Oh yeah. I haven't spun that one in a long time, to be honest.
Kind of a whole different band.
Been a long time. Okay, let's see here. Okay, here's kind of a mean one. Bathory self-titled debut LP versus Onslaught The Force by Noisy Beast. Thanks for the suggestion.
Bathory self-titled versus Onslaught The Force. Okay, yeah.
That's mean.
It's mean, but I'm going to answer really quick. I really love that Bathory record, but I love The Force more. Straight up. I'm going with Onslaught on that one. I think Corathon perfected it on Under the Sign of the Black Mark. I do like that album, but I'm going with Onslaught. The Force record is a great, great English thrash record.
Yeah. Man.
The chat's leaning Bathory on this one so far, but Onslaught has their fans. Absolutely.
I'm gonna go with Bathory. I can't. I can't. I credit that as being one of my all-time favorite metal albums. So even though I do love that Onslaught, I still listen. Yeah, I'm gonna do Bathory. I'm tired of making myself sick, so I'm just gonna do Bathory.
Ben, what do you think?
I've never really listened to that Onslaught much, so Bathory all day.
Okay. For me, I'm going to keep the Bathory in this case. I have The Force is a great album. The Force is an album that drove me a little nuts trying to track it down. I think I've told
It's
this
not
story
the
before.
Force's fault.
Yes, it is.
You were on the wrong short bus, buddy.
I was in the wrong part of the country. My bus got completely off the map. So very randomly, a guy in high school had a copy of that Onslaught the Force. And again, we lived way out in the sticks. So it was a really, really random thing for him to have come up with. And he let me dub it from him. And it's just like, yeah, this is really good. I want to track down a copy of this myself. And it took, good Lord, it was like 7 years or something before I could find a copy of it. And it became one of those things. By the time I got it, it had pissed me off so much that, there's a little resentment in the back of my brain that it took so damn long to get a copy of The Force. And so here you go, Onslaught. That resentment has finally boiled to the surface, and now it bites you in the ass and you get reaped. Bathory was never a problem. When I needed a copy of the Bathory, it was there for me. It didn't tease me for 7 years looking at distros and used bins and alleys and dumpsters. And yeah, so screw you, Onslaught. You took too long to get around, and so now I want to cut you.
There's that Alan tirade that happens.
Yeah, it's all come back. I cannot tell y'all though how much that drove me. Seriously, from about 1991 to shit, it may have been 8 years. That was from about 1991 to 1998. I could not get a copy of The Force, like an actual physical copy. It just never crossed my path for 8 years.
I don't know if I've ever seen it in the wild.
Yeah,
Camelot Music, baby. They had it on tape. I bought it on tape back in the day.
Never. That's probably where Sean got it from, but I never saw it at a Camelot or any of the other stores or eBay or nah. Cutting the Onslaught, absolutely. I shall have my revenge.
Autumn's got a cool one up here. Good to
I've
see
been
Autumn.
triggered. Let's move on.
This Machine Kills Music. Go check out her channel if you're into
Autumn.
harsh noise and industrial, electronic, other types of electronic music.
Lots of cool content.
Yep, definitely. She posts Skinny Puppy Bites or Godflesh Street Cleaner. Everybody, I've been thinking about doing a Godflesh deep dive too. It's coming at some point. I'm missing 2 of their albums, which are a lot more expensive to buy than I wanted them to be. So it's going to be a minute before I get there. But anyway, Skinny Puppy Bites or Godflesh Street Cleaner. Interesting pairing for sure.
Yeah, not a style. I'll ramble for a minute now that I'm, blood pressure's back down. Let's see. Not a style I listen to very often. I I had that Godflesh years and years ago. Skinny Puppy is a band I'm very new to. Marty's been recommending them. I watched the deep dive you did with Matt over on the Dark Path very closely, and I've been picking through some of their albums. I haven't bought any yet, just because they don't show up very often. I'm kind of hoping to stumble into some of them. The Bites one is really good. That's one I've listened to a couple of times on YouTube and if I can stumble upon that in the wild, I will buy it right away. The Godflesh, I don't know if I would rebuy or not. So I want to say in this pair, even though I'm a little outside my wheelhouse, I want to keep the Skinny Puppy. It's new to me. It sounds really good. I'm excited to land a copy of it eventually. So I will keep that, and I'll leave the Godflesh by the wayside. That's me.
What do you think, Ben?
I don't like Godflesh at all.
Okay. So Skinny Puppy for Ben. How about you,
I
Mel?
love Skinny Puppy.
I don't really listen to industrial a whole lot, so I don't really have an opinion on either.
For me, I know Street Cleaner is their big breakthrough album. I prefer the debut. But I mean, you've got good songs like Tiny Tears, Like Rats, and Christbait Rising. There's a lot of noise on this record, which is cool, but it makes it a little less. That's why I prefer the debut. The debut is a little bit more song oriented. Skinny Puppy Bites, you've got Assimilate, which is an eternal classic. The whole album is awesome. I mean, I'm going with Skinny Puppy on here. I see why you picked that pairing, but I'm a big Skinny Puppy fan. I know they're kind of the go-to band for, a metal adjacent electronic album. But they really, if you want horror and nightmarish type music without a lot of pretension, I think they do it probably better than anybody else. It's just super creative, dark, twisted, fucked up music. Godflesh too. I mean, Street Cleaner has got a lot of weird shit going on, got some noise and just some plotting aggression. I like both records for different reasons, I guess, but Skinny Puppy for me. All day. I got one here from Simon again. He thinks he's Mr. Funny Man down there in Australia, petting his koala and whatnot. There you go. Autopsy, Mental Funeral versus Immolation, Dawn of Possession. Ha ha ha, suckers.
I don't have to sweat this one too awfully much. Mental Funeral, probably my favorite Autopsy. So
a great record.
Yeah. Nothing against the Immolation. Immolation's a band I've gotten more and more fond of, but that's if it was a different Autopsy album, it'd probably be a closer call. But Mental Funeral for me for sure.
I'm gonna jump in here too. I think Mental Funeral as well. I really love that Dawn of Possession album, but there's also Here and After, which is a little bit more twisted. Yeah. I really love Dawn of Possession though. It's straight up old school death metal, super memorable. I mean, the riffs they're memorable and they're crafted into good songs, a lot of character. But I'm still going with Autopsy. I love that twisted, fucked up sound. Good stuff.
This is a personal attack against me.
Melanie's turn to be triggered.
All the way from Australia with love.
This is what happens when you chicken out and don't show up to do Keep a Reap with Simon. So he comes back and gets you.
I love Close to a World Below. Like that's probably one of my favorite Immolation albums.
Yep.
And for that reason, I'm picking Autopsy because I still have that. But this is literally the most heartbreaking decision that I've had to make tonight because Dawn of Possession is easily one of my all-time favorite albums, but so is Mental Funeral.
And before the show, Melanie had to put one of her two dogs to sleep. So this is saying something. The dog there is the only one left now. So when she says this is the hardest decision she's made tonight, you understand where she's coming from. Let's put this in some context. No, her pets are fine. I'm being a jerk.
Yeah, no, they're definitely fine. Please. Yeah, I'm just gonna do Autopsy, even though I'm.
Ooh.
Benjamin.
I'm gonna fuck Mental Funeral, kill Dawn of Possession, and marry Leprosy.
No.
I can't tell you how many times Marty and I tried to figure out a way to format this to follow that pattern. And eventually just like we never found a third option that we thought was really quite worked. So that's why it's keep or reap and not the kill Mary fuck combination.
I don't like immolation.
Really? What?
Makes no sense.
What?
Everybody
One
gets
possession
one.
out of all of them would make the most sense. It's old school death metal. It's just
everybody gets one, and I'm going to give you that one. I want to be very magnanimous and say I understand you, sir.
they're
I have a reason for saying this. It'll come up later.
Did everybody get in on that one? Everybody answer that one?
Did. Yes. You've got at least one super chat to catch up on, Marty. Lots of
we do?
Parents. Yes, we do.
Shit. I'm slacking here. I'm just trying to.
It came up right when you started Simon's, so it may
okay. Well, I'm going to get to that one because I'm going to jump to this one first, real quick, if I can find it again. Damn it. First time caller. Where the fuck is it?
Long time listener, first time caller.
Yeah, long time listener, first time caller. Well, it was one from Ben. He put Testament in the chat. He put Testament the Legacy up against Overkill's Feel the Fire, which is that is a very mean pick. That's a hard pick.
Yeah.
That's a hard pick.
Legacy, Feel the Fire. For me, it's not as hard as most folks, so I will buy you guys 45 seconds here. Both classic thrash albums. Feel the Fire for me, though, is top notch.
I'm going with that
right
too.
Up there with arguably ask me on certain days of the week, it might be my favorite kind of thrash album, even though it's not.
It's their best. It's their best.
Hey, and see, that's the thing. It's not even their best album.
It is their best.
Album. Second best. Say it again. Go ahead.
I mean, I like this one. You're thinking Years of Decay, right?
Because it's the best.
It's really good. It would be my second.
It's the best.
Horoscope's my third.
Horoscope is third. We can agree on that.
Okay. Taking over fourth.
There, maybe
Under the Influence fifth.
Maybe. I'm not prepared to go that deep on the list, but anyway, nothing against the Legacy, but Feel the Fire for me on that pair. Absolutely.
Feel the Fire for me. That is a great. That record is the perfect union of punk and thrash.
Yeah,
and I love both styles, and
it's even got that early U.S. power metal vibe to it.
It does. It's got like the Omen. It could sit on the same shelf as early Omen as well.
Except it's scary. Bobby Blitz really does sound like he's just going to drag you into a back alley and do things to you with a soda pop bottle and a bag of Cheetos. Think about it. All right, Melanie, Ben, your turn.
Bag of Cheetos of all the things.
If you take that bus, you'll get there. And it's a short bus. Melanie's now completely distracted.
I am going to go with Overkill. And that is because I have always loved Souls of Black and the New Order. The Legacy, obviously iconic, great, but that Overkill album is just, I listen to it so much more. It's just...
I would disagree with you that Souls of Black is better than the Legacy. That is a very wrong statement.
It's my first ever. It's my first ever Testament album.
Okay. I mean, wherever you jump in is typically where you gravitate. Nostalgia reasons.
I was a '90s kid, so that was the.
Melanie can have that one. Absolutely, that is fair and just.
Legacy is a great fucking record. They're best.
I'm trying to buy myself some gravitas here because I'm going to need it in a minute. But Ben, I don't think we've heard from you on the thrash attack here.
These are the only albums I like from each band, and I think I like the Legacy a little bit more.
Fair.
Bobby Blitz is one of the worst metal singers I've ever heard.
Oh my god!
Sad.
Nah.
Wow. Really? Even over Metallica, Saint Anger.
I also hate Metallica.
All right, so we've covered that one, and yes, let's back up. Marty, I got the super chat. Yeah, I had scrolled a few pages.
Okay,
back,
I've got. Okay, go ahead. Thank you, Jack. Again, thank you
from Jack. Thank you very much. We got Voivod, Phobos versus Celtic Frost's Monotheist. Kind of
early Noise Records alumni.
Yep. Kind of both bands storming back, kind of pairing here. I I'm not a huge Voivod fan. I'm on record as saying this. And remember, I've been very nice to everybody lately, so you can't pick on me because this. I saw this one earlier, and I knew I would need a couple of brownie points. I'm okay with some Voivod. Voivod for me, most people I know worship this band, and they're just not that band for me. That said, Phobos is pretty good.
It's a good record. It's a good record.
Again, Matt over at the Dark Path, I can credit. He's been kind of trying to help me. He's been my Voivod spirit animal here
Sherpa.
lately, trying to help me pick my way through and avoid some of the landmines. And Phobos is kind of cool. I do like that album. But Monotheist is a monster. I love that album. It caught me off guard. I'd expected nothing. I didn't even pay any attention to it when I heard it was coming out. But then I ended up buying it. And yeah, that album flattened me in a good way. So I would definitely keep the Monotheist here. But yes, even with my sort of lukewarm response to Voivod a lot of the times, Phobos is pretty cool. It's this isn't a completely one-sided pick. Who would like to ring in next?
I'll go next. I love that Phobos record. It's really great. Both the Eric Force albums are really good.
Yes, that's
they just are.
I've enjoyed.
But that Celtic Frost record, that Monotheist, is the art album, the artistic avant-garde masterpiece that they were striving for their entire career. They thought they did it in their own minds on Into the Pandemonium, but that record is a turd of a mess. I'm sorry, everybody. It's like running to Borders to go use the bathroom and not making it, and you shit your pants, and during the run it all rolls down your leg. It falls out, you slip on it, you fall, you hit your head on the curb. I mean, that is that album to me. But Monotheist, they checked all the boxes. Super alternative. What am I trying to say? Super avant-garde, artistic, without losing sight of writing good songs. They kicked up the experimentation on it, and they did so with a lot of taste. And you could tell there's a lot of years in songwriting that went into that album. They kind of figured it out along the way by making a ton of fucking mistakes publicly. A lot of shit they put out should not have made it out. I'm sorry. In the Pandemonium has a handful of good songs on it, but it is you start off with Mexican Radio by Wall of Voodoo. You're fucking up your record, especially after coming off of to Megatherion. I mean, yep, Monotheist, a triumph. That was the album to go out on. They finally did it, and they did it with grace, and it kind of rights the wrongs of their past, as far as I'm concerned.
I'll be back in a minute while I'll let Melanie and Ben answer. Be right back.
Right on. Who's next?
I guess I'm going to go with Voivod, I think. I should probably go back and listen to Monotheist some more. Tom Warrior riffs just, they can't sound anything but stupid to me. It's how it sounds.
Yeah, Celtic Frost is very lost on me, with the exception of Megatherion. I just have never had this huge love for them. So, and I do like that Voivod record, so I'm going with Voivod.
I think it's a Celtic Frost. I think there's appeal for people that get on into the heavier stuff maybe a little later. But I mean, for older farts that were there when the Celtic Frost, it was huge. It was like, holy fuck, what the hell is this? It's heavy as shit. It's dark. It's weird. I think, in the Pandemonium, there's a story. I'm going to skip it for now. But yeah, I get what you're saying. So what did you picked? Voivod as well?
Yeah.
Voivod, and Alan was Voivod as well.
No, I'm Celtic Frost from this one.
Celtic Frost, that's right.
We are split.
Okay.
Good pair.
I see someone saying, Marty, how dare you? But I don't know what that was for. I'm trying to find a pair here. Hold on. Oh, I had one. Damn it. It was fuck. Captain K. What was it? It was
I've got it.
Skeptics Oh, that's not the one, but okay.
Oh.
Ooh.
We can go with this one. and we'll see if we can find Captain's other one in a bit. Because this one's that's
a hard
good
one.
pair.
It's kind of a hard one.
Anthems. That is a hard one. Okay. Well, it's on the screen. We got to do it. I'm just going to wait and see what the chat says for a minute or two. We've got a vote for Anthems. We've got Chris voting for Satyricon. We've got McNutt voting for Anthems. McNutt had a good pair earlier. Hopefully we can get back to that one. All right. Ben's got his pick made, I think. Yeah, we've got... It's literally going back and forth. Nemesis Anthems. Nemesis Anthems.
Tom, look at this. Wear a condom if you're fucking the leprosy guy. Oh, Tom rules. From the Kill Fuck Mary or whatever. Ben's Kill Fuck Mary.
I'm gonna say Emperor.
Gotta get Tom on again. Dude.
Definitely.
I'm gonna
Tom,
say
It was fun having Tom on.
Tom,
Yep.
we need to have you on again.
Yep. So I'm sorry, Melanie, you were picking...
I'm sorry,
I'm
Mel.
picking Emperor, and then I'm gonna hobble to the bathroom really quick.
Don't break the other toe on the other foot.
I will be right back.
All right, so we've got one vote for Anthems to the Again, the pairing was Anthems to the Woken at Dust versus Nemesis Divina.
I'll go next. For me, this is a tough one. I really love Nemesis Divina. I think that's the culmination of the first three records. I love Shadow Throne, probably my favorite Satyricon. Nemesis Divina is a second. It's just so well produced, strange. There's some really fucked up linear type structure going on, especially the first song where there's like he's like reciting the Book of Revelations. The song's very linear, but it's just crushing. It's just a crushing album. I still have to go with Emperor just because the songwriting is so immense, and it's world building music. It's just huge. I love it.
Okay.
Easy, keep Nemesis Divina, says Aaron, the Metal Theologian. Okay, I'm going to go with Emperor, even though I would really be sad to never hear Nemesis Divina again. It's a great record.
Aaron, love to hate on Emperor.
Yeah, Thrash is right. That is a killer song. Ben, have you made up your mind?
He went Anthems.
Oh, he already.
Yeah.
Oh,
Sorry. For me, let's see. I haven't revisited Nemesis Divina in quite a while. I've been meaning to. It just never quite makes it into rotation. Anthems I did revisit recently, and Anthems is an album I'm not as high on it as most folks, and I've documented that in detail on other occasions. It's very good, but I think it is a bit overhyped by a lot of folks. I think it was an album that was in the right place at the right time to cash in on black metal finally becoming much more visible and popular. But it's still a good album, and revisiting it recently, I can appreciate it a lot more than I used to. I would keep the Anthems in this case. Some of that may just be that Nemesis Divina's gotten a little rusty on the shelf. So if I take it off in a month and play it a whole bunch, I might change my vote next time. But for now, I'll keep Anthems.
Really can't deny the anthemic greatness of like Mother North. I mean,
oh yeah,
it's a great song.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, it's no slouch, not at all. It's just, for whatever reason, it's gathered a bit of dust on my shelf, perhaps unfairly so.
I finally found the one I was looking for. Captain K presents Agent Steel, Skeptic's Apocalypse versus Savage Grace, Master of Disguise.
Ow.
Thanks, Captain.
This is an easy one all day long. Skeptic's Apocalypse. That album crushes and destroys. True, awesome American speed metal. Absolutely great. Bleed for the Gods. Holy fuck. If I'd never heard Bleed for the Gods again, I'd be sad. What a great fucking song.
These are both great speed metal albums. Yeah,
I agree. They're both killer, but man, Agent Steel surpasses.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of
That was great.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with Agent Steel. I literally just listened to this today while I was working.
Were you? Oh my god! Bleed for the
yeah.
Gods. Did you like fucking? Try to sing along with him.
This is one of those albums where I will put it on in the car and my whole family goes, ah.
It was awesome. When I DJ'd at Hammerheart, their last metal night before they closed, and I put on Bleed for the Gods. It was like one of the first songs I played. I saw like 3 invisible oranges hoisted to the sky out into the place where they're all sitting and drinking. I was behind glass. They're like, he's like, yeah, good pick, DJ, good pick.
You're sitting behind that window back there?
Yeah, I was behind the window. Yep.
Oh, weird.
Yep.
Yeah.
They're still making albums too, which I did not know that.
You know what? And I need to check it out. I have not taken the time. I keep forgetting to do so.
Which one do you need to check out, Marty?
Apparently Asian Steel has put out a new album last year, and I have not spun it yet.
Oh, I missed that one myself.
I'm sure it's John Cyrus and whoever else he employed to do the work for him. But did you pick one on this, Alan? Or are you stalling?
No. I have not picked, but I know what I would pick. They're both great. I would, in this case, have to pick the Agent Steel. If it were Unstoppable Force, I don't know if I would, but Skeptic, especially the first side of Skeptic Apocalypse, is practically untouchable.
Oh, yeah.
That is one of the best sides of an album ever recorded for heavy metal, in my opinion. The B side, maybe just a little step down, but that first side, that track list is just unstoppable. The Savage Grace, I love to death. I've got 3 copies of it. I've got 4 copies of it, and I'm looking for a 5th because I'm a sick little monkey, and we all know it. That album is held back a bit by its production, and I can overlook production on some albums, especially 80s albums, but boy, that album needed somebody working the knobs who had a little bit of a clue as to what to do with it. It's a real shame that album got buried in such a bad production job. But even with a really strong production, Skeptics, that's a hard one to dethrone. So good pairing, very good pairing.
Man, I don't even want to put this one up on the board because
have you got Tom's super chat?
I'm gonna get him next.
Oh, okay.
Nate Zip, this is a great pairing. It's an unfortunate pairing, but it's a great pairing. Holy Terror's Mind Wars versus Sadist Illusions. Oh, this one is. Why did I even put this up? I could have just went on and ignored it.
The speed freaks are out in force now.
These are 2. If you're not familiar with either of these albums, they're essential killer albums. Ugh.
Yeah. We'll let's all buy Marty some time here. Melanie, Ben,
so I actually had Holy Terror in one of my pairings that I was going to do. It wasn't against Sadist though. I'm gonna do Holy Terror. I just
keep the Holy Terror.
I don't feel good about it at all.
Never be able to hear Certain Death again. Oh my God.
That's the one that I probably have a little bit more of a personal connection to. It was the first one
I shouldn't have picked this. This is hard. Damn it, Nate.
Yeah, Marty, could you just act like you didn't see it?
I should have just like
Really? You posted that? I'm sorry. I just must have glanced right past it.
Human Falafel just made me really regret that now.
Uh-oh. What did
Steve?
I want to leave this up here for folks to see the pairing, but what did Falafel say?
Steve DeGorgio. DeGorgio, yeah. That's a really good point.
That is a thing.
But you can still get DeGorgio. Oh no, he's not on Mental Funeral. Never mind.
He's on Severed Survival, but that wasn't up there. So
he's also on the Fiend for Blood EP.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ben, did you weigh in on this one?
I think I would pick Holy Terror, but if you said Swallowed in Black, I'd probably choose that.
Oh, Swallowed in Black is killer too, but Chemical Exposure Illusions is.
Oh yeah, Marty, I'll buy you just a little more time here. I want to keep the Holy Terror. The Sadist is good. Record. The Sadist is a later discovery for me. That was one of those bands whose name I always heard. I never found a single record by them out in the wild. So it was only within the past couple of years that I finally, ordered Sadist and got to hear it. Great album. I just don't have the history with it. Holy Terror is one that I go way back with, and really pushing. They really go even by the standards of speed metal. They're just really push it over the top in an excellent way. So I'll keep the Holy Terror, but the Sadist is great stuff as well.
The Sadist is. I don't know why I'm saying this, but I'm going to say it anyway. I've had enough to drink. First time I ever made out with a woman was Sadist Illusions Chemical Exposure was playing on the tape deck in my 1977 GMC Jimmy. Because, nothing says sexy time like Certain Death by Sadist. Nothing at all. It gets them all worked up. I don't know what the deal is, but
Love at First Riff.
So it'd be weird. You would think I'd pick that one because it is an all-time favorite. But man, Holy Terror's Mind Wars is a special place. More so than anyway, Holy Terror Mind Wars. I'm going with that. Even though that's a hard pick for sure.
People have gotten good at this.
Yeah, they've gotten too good at this.
Yeah. All right, let's get Tom's.
What's that, Ben?
I still got some good ones.
Let's get Tom's super chat, and then we'll have Ben and Melanie said she had some too. So we'll get a Ben and Melanie after Tom's.
Okay, Tom, thank you so much, man. We're going to get you back on again. So start contemplating a topic. Disharmonic orchestra, not to be unidimensional conscious versus Oppressor's Solstice of Oppression. Easy one for me.
Yeah.
That Disharmonic orchestra album rules. I love it. It's unique. It's heavy. It's interesting. It's got some groove to it. In fact, the song Groove is an awesome song. awesome song. The Disharmonic Orchestra is a standout for sure. Oppressor, US, New York wannabe brutal death metal, which is fine, but take it or leave it. Melanie, how about you? What? Oh, Ben's got an opinion. Melanie's contemplating her errors in life over this one. It looks like.
I really do like that. This Harmonic Orchestra is really the only one that I know, and I just love. It is a very different, weird album, but the death metal in me really cannot go against Oppressor at all.
They're Chicago also, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I know a couple people, so I'm gonna say Oppressor. Yeah. I feel good about that.
For me, it's a weird pairing.
It is a weird pairing.
They're different enough, and I'm not as familiar with Disharmonic nearly as much as I go back with Oppressor. I love that album dearly. It's so good. I think it's pretty unique too.
The Oppressor?
Yeah.
It's got a great album cover.
Oh,
it is a pretty gnarly cover, yeah.
Wow.
They have one of the best logos too.
Yeah. Ooh, that'd be a good shirt to have.
Yeah, seriously.
Alan, did you chime in on this one?
I have not yet. I'm not real familiar with Oppressor. I don't have any long history with them, but I never got into Disharmonic Orchestra. It's probably something I should give another chance. I heard it back in the day, and it didn't do anything for me at that time. So yeah, I'm okay keeping the Oppressor, even though it's not something that's near and dear to my heart.
All right, Alan, can you pick the next one? I really have to go use the little boys' room before I have
Absolutely. Well, Ben and Melanie had some pairs, so yeah. Let's take a bathroom break here.
I'll be right back.
Absolutely. So let's see, Melanie, you mentioned a minute ago you had a pairing you'd been holding on to.
Yeah. So I did Sadistic Intent, Resurrection. Is that how you say that again?
Resurrection.
Resurrection. Jeez, I can't even read my handwriting. And then this pairing is really dumb. Demigod, Slumber of Soul and Eyes.
Ooh. I almost picked Sadistic Intent. I was gonna pair Sentence North from Here with Demigard's Solar Stolen Alliance, but I'm waiting for that vinyl to come in from Spartan any day now.
Yeah, I have it on pre-order. I was very excited about that.
Yeah.
Oops, get down here to the new comments. So yeah, a lot of votes for
Demigod. I'm not surprised by that.
Demigod. Yeah, that one is that's one I did not really hear about much back in the day, but over time, yeah, it's developed a really strong following for the Demigod.
Yeah.
I am trying to figure out when it got a strong following.
Good question. Yeah, I don't know.
For a long time, that was an album that I was suggesting to people, and they were like, "What is this?"
Mm-hmm.
And they had no idea. And then all of a sudden, like Spark comes out with the repress, and I'm seeing people wearing the long sleeve shirts on Instagram, and I'm like, "What the hell happened?"
Mm-hmm.
I really love that Sadistic Intent. It's one of my all-time favorites, but I'm gonna go with Demigod, although still confused about where the hype is coming from with that.
Yeah, it may just be one of those albums that finally enough people heard it to gain more.
I
don't know.
I even went into Ken's channel. I'm like, did he put this on his YouTube? And I don't know if he did or not.
What did I miss?
I did Sadistic Intent, Resurrection, or Demigod, Slumber of Soul and Eyes.
Gotta go with the Finns. I mean, I love that. I mean, Sadistic Intent. Talk about a band that's been around forever and has been so unprolific.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, I thought they both were. Like I was just saying, I thought both. But Demigod all of a sudden has got a following. People are talking about them, and they're
a little info here from Simon that might help explain some of it. Yep.
Yeah,
Thanks
that's
for the
true.
info, Simon.
It is incredibly hard to find too, because it was that makes sense.
And the follow-up to Slumber of Soul and Eyes is a piece of shit.
It's
terrible piece of shit. Yeah.
Yeah. That is, yeah. Talk about that's an awful.
I thought Let Chaos Prevail was the follow-up. I haven't even heard Shadow Mechanics, actually. I don't know. I don't think I want to. I'm gonna be a little different here. Resurrection for me, that's got kind of like a black metal feel to it. It's one of those death metal albums that has that like mysticism, kind of dark, foggy sort of mood to it that really does a lot more for me than your standard death metal album. Love them both. I feel like I'm kind of losing the point of the whole thing where we're losing one album forever. I've gotten into the habit of just like choosing which one I like more.
Yeah.
The fatality is what is getting lost on me. But yeah, Sadistic Intent. I wish they would do a fucking album.
Yeah, they've been fucking around. I mean, there was supposed to be an album called The Second Coming of Darkness. It was advertised back in the day that was coming. It was coming. The dude from Agent Steel recorded the album.
Oh,
got busy. Not Bernie, or it was Bernie. Am I getting their names wrong? It wasn't Juan. It was Bernie.
Bernie Versailles.
Yeah, and then he went on tour doing shit with Order of the Illuminati, which is the name of Agent Steel after John Cyrus. I think that was the name of the band. Got busy. And there was always excuses why I didn't. Then the gear it was recorded on crashed. I don't know. I've heard all these rumors of what happened to this mystery album. I mean, if that was the case, why didn't you just re-record it somewhere else? Do it over. I mean, I don't get it. I don't know what the hell it is.
The Fable.
I had people talking about my makeout story. Let's see here.
You'd be surprised.
There's another one.
If you're a metalhead, you can make out to anything.
Oh, she was not a metalhead at all.
All right,
I was just that sexy back in the day.
You were just that guy.
She was probably thinking,
Marty,
what the fuck am I doing here? What the
Marty
fuck
was at
is-
that tender age in a young boy's life where he starts noticing riffs where there weren't any riffs just a couple of months before. And, stuff like that.
Yep. All right. Picking.
You feel like one of my forfers?
Okay, let's do a forfer.
Sure.
All right. All right.
Hold on one second before you start. Christopher Barker. Question for Marty. Would you consider Trans-Siberian Orchestra a symphonic? Yeah, sure. Just playing Christmas music. Yeah. I mean, it's basically Sabotage and other people. And there's actually 2 Trans-Siberian Orchestra bands touring the U.S. during the Christmas holiday.
East and West.
East and West.
Joel Hoekstra is on the East Coast, and he is a close family friend of mine and was my first ever guitar teacher. So
Right on. I did not know you play guitar. Do you still?
I dabble, not as much as I used to when I was younger, but yeah, he grew up with my cousin, and my brother is from the same neighborhood as us. So
Awesome.
he's a phenomenal guitarist. He also has a bunch of solo albums. He's in Whitesnake. He did Night Ranger. He's an incredible guy.
There's no way every member of that Siberian Orchestra is trans.
The multiple bands, it's like the helper Santas that go out to all the different malls. The real one can't get to every location to play for folks, so now you have to have these spin-off assistants.
Oh God, that just
That's
killed
how you
me.
explain it to your kid when they're just like, "But that's not Petrelli on stage with the guitar. This is a helper band.
No way.
He's helping Santa Petrelli because he can't get to every mall while it's almost Christmas."
All right, time for some heavy lifting.
All right.
Okay.
Halloween Keepers 1 or 2?
We've done
Have we
this one
done this
before.
before?
We've done this before, I think.
Okay, well, it's a forfer.
One for me.
One.
But you got Eagle Fly Free. I mean, never hearing that song again would be a
One.
sad.
There's no discussion.
Really tough for me, but
I'm gonna just do one. Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
So hold on.
Hold on a second. I need to look at it. I need to lay eyes on a track list. Always Walk Alone, Eagle Fly Free, Save Us. I'm kind of sick of I Want Out, to be honest.
Halloween.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with part 1. I agree. Part 1.
Okay, hold on to that then, and we've got Keepers of Jericho versus the new self-titled.
Wait,
Jericho.
Walls of Jericho. Walls of
of Jericho.
Jericho.
Yeah.
Keepers of Jericho was the tribute.
Yeah. Walls.
What? Walls of Jericho versus the new self-titled.
Versus
Yeah.
the album. Yep. I'm taking Jericho.
Woo!
They're not the same.
They're not.
No,
It should have been the self-titled. Okay, which self-titled are you talking about? They've got 2 self-titled.
No,
in there.
Ben was very clear about this.
The new one.
The new self-titled or the self-titled that it should be up against Keepers.
Keepers 3, the new self-titled one.
Fuck, man.
Nice try, Marty. Nice try.
This one, Marty.
Yeah. Heavy breathing.
You don't have many Halloween albums left in the collection. Haven't you reaped enough from them?
Everybody thinks they're so fucking funny tonight. Funny. God, I mean, Ride the Sky, all-time classic, amazing song. Up against Skyfall, modern day classic. What do you think, Alan?
Jericho.
You said Jericho, right? What'd you say, Melanie?
I'm gonna say Jericho just because I was late to this one. Once I got it, I absolutely loved it. But Jericho.
Self-titled for me.
Oh Jesus.
Sorry.
Dude, I'm going with self-titled. I'm going with it. It's great. It's absolutely great. I mean, I still have Judas to enjoy with Kai Hansen.
The dust.
You still got, you still got
Another
Chameleon.
one bites the dust. And another is reaped, and another is reaped. Another one bites the dust.
So
Lo, you only got chameleon left. Another one bites the dust.
Where's Matt? Isn't Matt the one that loves Chameleon? Was he, or was he?
He's a
joking about
he's
that?
a contrarian
Yes,
about it, but he doesn't hate it. He doesn't hate it.
He's the one who slips it into the playlist, with the when the Ellingtons come over for tea and stuff.
Ellington.
Oh, that's right. He does do that. He says
Yes, he
that.
does.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
making that up. Oh dear, the shaftberries are coming this evening for crumpets. Oh well, let me dust off my Chameleon CD and put it into the shuffle on the iPod.
so then
we
got
love you, Matt.
2 for 1.
Hold on a second. Let's talk about this for one more second. I'm going with self-titled. I'm just going to say that, but I want to say
All right.
Jericho is a great record. Are there every song on it perfect and great? No, but it's got that album is bookended really good. You got How Many Tears at the end, which is a fucking amazing song, and you've got Ride the Sky, which is a fucking amazing song. I don't know. I don't know why I'm saying this. I just say Mr. Obvious saying Mr. Obvious things, but why do I love the new one so much? Just because it's a great record. I don't know. Anyway, go ahead. Whatever. Go ahead. Go next.
So now we got to
That's
choose
2 for
which one
1
of those, right, Ben?
versus self-titled.
One. So yeah. So for Melanie and I, it's one versus Jericho, I believe.
Yeah.
Oh, that's easy. Yeah, one.
One.
I mean, I don't want to be like the stereotypical Halloween fan, but one was the first one. Like that's the one.
Well, if we're gonna go back in time to when we ranked the Halloween albums, does anybody remember what my number 1 was?
The self-titled.
The self-titled.
Was
I
it
think
really?
It was.
It was. Him and Matt both picked it as their.
I don't
top.
think I got that far into the video. Now that I think of it,
Yeah, I got Frank.
Too many pumpkins.
Too many pumpkins.
I
Now
don't
we got
remember
lost in
now.
the pumpkin patch.
I'm with Marty too. I couldn't put down if I had to pick one Halloween album. I think I could live with that one for the rest of my life.
And they've got such a great career. I mean, my kid is into them, so I listen to them a lot, and I love it. I love it. I'm really right now still heavily into the Darius era. I'm not unhappy with anything he's really done, and yeah, man, I'm gonna have to. It's not saying I don't love one. I mean, I think that was my number 2, if on the list, if recall. But I'm going with the self-titled. Fuck it. It's new because it's new, and it's not. They didn't phone it in. That's what I'm so impressed with this record. They could have phoned it in. Oh, we've got the old guys back. Let's put out a bunch of garbage. They didn't. You listen to the textures and the guitar solos and just the work that went in that record. It's awesome. It's a great record. So yeah, I'm going with that one.
All right.
Yeah, I guess
Good.
I'll,
Yes, mini
listen to it a
contest.
little bit more now.
All right, Marty. Let's.
Oh shit, I've been talking. Oh yeah, I got one here. Ready?
Sure.
Blinded Inside. This might be the wrong crowd for this, but I'm down. DRI Dealing with It or COC Animosity. Both good records. Maybe the best by both. Probably the best by both. For DRI at least. Yeah, and for COC.
Been a long time since I heard these, so
I'm going with Dealing with It. What a great fucking crossover record. It's great. Their best album. Easily. Hands down. Definitely.
I think I would too. But yeah, I'm real rusty on both those albums. I just haven't ventured back into crossover territory in quite a while. But yeah,
I can't answer.
I'll go with the DRI, but yeah, it's not a DRI.
This is not my realm.
Yeah, me neither.
All right, let me see here.
Fair.
Let me scroll. I'm scrolling.
Yep. There's a lot of good ones earlier in the chat, so don't be afraid to scroll back a ways.
Here we go. Tim saying Razor Evil Invaders versus Exhumers Possessed by Fire.
That's a good one.
It's a good one.
I'm not real familiar with Exhumer, but I love that Razor album. So
It's a great record.
Exhumer would have to be very, very good to top that. So I'm pretty comfortable saying Razor will hold it off.
Razor for me.
Yeah.
Razor.
That Exhumer album is really good. I really like it, but I think that Razor album tops it.
Here's a good one, even though I mean, I know this is an easy pick for me, but I'm gonna put it up anyway because not a lot of people in there shouting out Balsagoth. So the Power Cosmic versus Summoning Stronghold.
Balsagoth's fun, but Summoning is
That's their best album. Summoning
great
Stronghold is their best album. Love it.
It's not my personal favorite. A lot of people do cite it as their best. It's not my personal favorite, but it's still awfully good. So Balsagoth's fun when I'm in the mood for it, but not going to win this fight.
I like Battle Magic more by quite a bit, but man, Summoning Stronghold is magical. I listened to that yesterday, and oh my god, so it's amazing.
Someday I will own that. Someday.
Did you
heard the power? Have you heard the Battle Magic, Melanie?
Yes.
It's great.
Yeah.
It's great. Like power metal, black metal. It's awesome.
Yeah.
This is one of those things where, like, when I hear Summoning, that is all I listen to.
Yeah.
For a while. I go down into a path, and then it's hard for me to get out of it.
Yeah,
I like the last couple albums.
I still like those. Yeah, it still has that good world building quality. It's like if hobbits were evil, running around the Shire with corpse paint on. That'd be scary as heck if you think about it.
For me, it's Summoning Stronghold. The first time I heard A Distant Flame Before the Sun, the last song on Stronghold, my soul left my body. It was amazing experience, and I got lost in the mines of Moria on the way to Tom Bombadil's house, the cabin, and that's where I stayed. That album is amazing. That's a superior black metal album for me. Stronghold all day, every day.
A couple of weeks ago, I watched an entire podcast about some guy trying to figure out exactly what Tom Bombadil was.
Yeah,
like literally going through the afterlife of different elvish races, trying to pin down what Bombadil is.
Wasn't he kind of like? Because he's super powerful, apparently, and now isn't he kind of like one of Gandalf and
No,
isn't he one of the Mithrin or what the hell you call him?
No, he is not one of the Einar.
Einar, that's right.
Or the Maiar. No, he's not. Those have been ruled out. He's actually whatever he is, he ranks above them, but he's not Valar.
I just want to give a shout out. I just want to give a shout out real quick to the longtime listener Parker Rickinen. Cheers, everybody. Parker's in somewhere in here somewhere. Anyway,
yeah. Before this stumbles any further down the dwarven mine shaft, let's pick another pair. Folks are throwing a lot of things out there, and we're getting distracted.
There's one for Ben. Lapse 9 Continuum. Fog. Through the Eyes of Night versus Thy Primordial, where only the seasons.
You stanky bitch. You smell like shit, bitch. Ooh.
Fun pair.
That's a fun pair. I'm going with Thy Primordial. I really like that early Thy Primordial stuff. Good shit. I'm going with that.
Nothing against the Fog at all, but yeah.
No, Fog is awesome.
Yeah, I had that. Yeah, I had that Thy Primordial back in the day, and yeah, it was a cool one. I sadly do not have it anymore.
Mine got.
I do not know the Fog as well. So Thy Primordial.
What am I missing? What am I missing?
Did he just leave? Oh, no, he's right there.
No,
I thought he just got up and walked out.
You're missing Tom.
Where's Tom? Where's Tom? Oh, Tom Bombadil was not powerful enough to avoid getting cut out of the movies.
Like the one thing they didn't put in the movie.
Yeah, exactly. If he's so powerful, why didn't you make the cut?
14 hours. There was room for him somewhere. Choose when Ben. Now again, just to understand, one of those you will never hear again. It's just getting you back in the right.
But you've always got typhus.
Trash.
It's funny because you said it in the voice of a South Park character. Why I don't know.
Wow, that's pretty tough. I've spent more time with this one than Fog, and I think I would maybe get more out of this one.
What? You get more out of the fog?
I think so. Yeah. There's more time for me to spend with this one than this one.
And there's more Thy Primordial albums. There isn't a whole lot of
There is,
fog to
yeah.
choose from.
I mean, I have a copy of this when I was like 18 years old. And this one came out like 3 or 4 years later. So it's kind of a newer school version of your Emperor worship kind of deal. So I've played this one probably half as much as this one. So I'm going with Fog.
Okay.
It's not the superior album, though.
Okay. Does anybody else want to chime in on this one?
I made my call.
Okay.
Yeah, I said Thy Primordial because
Okay.
I haven't heard Fogged all that much.
Oop. There's one from Kellen I missed. Here's a good one. Killing for Company. Cheers, Kellen. Niflheim, self-titled versus R Noir, Black Thrash Attack.
Woohoo! That's nasty
I gotta set this pair out. I don't have not enough information. Sorry. I know very little by either of these bands, to my great discredit.
Damn. Bone up, Alan.
I mean, R&R has been on the list of something to pick up, and just hasn't happened yet. I literally thought I found an R&R Sweetie in the used bin earlier today, but when I picked up and looked at it, it was something else.
The Merciless and Black Thrash Attack. Black Thrash, or I'm sorry. What's the one after Merciless? Hades Rise. Hades Rise is my favorite.
Really?
I like that record. Awful quiet in here. I'm going with R Noir. I'm not as familiar with that Niflheim, so I have to go with R Noir. Although Niflheim were great. They're a great crushing band.
Yeah, both amazing bands. I could never get tired of listening to Black Thrash Attack. Also, like a age 17 album for me.
He's only 17. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Black Thrash Attack.
Okay.
Alrighty.
Here's a good one from Tim. Running Wild, Pile of Skulls versus Halloween, Keepers 3, The Legacy.
Tim, I told you to go away.
I've come around greatly on Keepers 3, The Legacy. I've really been working at it, and it's a great record. Mrs. God is a really crappy, goofy song.
Almost every Halloween album has one just real dud of a song on it.
Yep.
And that is the one on that album. Yeah.
And of course, it's
Those funny creatures.
of course they had to make that a video or a single for the album too, which is a bummer.
Of course. We got a couple of votes for Running Wild in the chat earlier from Kevin and Celtic. Yeah, see, this is a smart pairing because it's not the top album by either band, but it's still they're both very good albums.
They're both very good albums. They are indeed.
Yeah, and you can't really use the excuse with either of these. Oh, I've got a bunch of other Running Wild albums to listen to. Well, hell, you've got a bunch of other Halloween albums to listen to too, so you can't kind of take that to escape hatch.
You might, but I've reaped most of mine away.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, now Marty.
I'm going with Keepers 3 on this one, Alan. Thank you.
You got to keep something. Okay, fair.
Mrs. God for the rest of my life. Yeah.
I've never heard either one of them.
They're both good records. They're both good.
Yeah, I like both of these. They're both in the upper tier for both of these bands. Let me start. It's one of my favorite Darius albums. I will stop short of saying it's my favorite, but it's up there. However, I'm going to keep Pile of Skulls, if for no other reason, 2 words, Treasure Island. That was the long-form epic track Running Wild was born and bred to record, and it is fabulous, and I will not throw that song away. Not for Keepers 3 as much as I do like it. Keepers 3 gets a bad rap for silly reasons that people should just get over. But I will keep Pile of Skulls because Treasure Island that's the song.
I need to ask you, you ended up getting seven Sinners, right? You do have that?
Yes, I did. Yes.
Did you end up liking that?
Oh, yeah. It's a very solid album.
It's a crushing record. Anyway, sorry. Did everybody else make choices on this? What?
Now Tim, knock it off.
No, I'm doing Halloween. I like that Running Wild album, but Halloween just sticks more with me.
That's okay.
Oh, okay. Ben, did you have any dog in that fight? No.
Never heard either one of them.
All right, here's another one. Nate bringing the thunder again with Running Wild, Death or Glory versus Blind Guardian, Somewhere Far Beyond. That's they're both great records.
Yeah, wow.
Just gonna say I'm sitting this one out because I just started listening to Blind Guardian like a month ago.
Oh, damn.
So, yeah.
But good
that
for
is
you.
all.
I mean, which ones do you have?
Well, this one, Somewhere Far Beyond, their newest one that just came out. Those are the two that I've heard so far.
Right on.
But I think that was after the last stream that I did with you guys. We talked about it and it came up somehow.
Check out Imaginations from the Other Side.
I don't know if that'd be the one. That one. I don't know if I'd jump to that one. I might get settled in with some of the others before going to Imaginations. But that's a conversation for another time.
Right on.
Do you want to say thanks to McNutwack for the super chat? And yeah, McNutwack had a good Marty. That's when you should scroll back to.
Did I miss it? I'm so sorry.
No. He just did a super chat, but he had a interesting looking pair much earlier that we just didn't get to. So if you can scroll way back and find it, I'd forget what it was, but it looked kind of.
I wish you could do a search on the chat, but you can't. McNutwack.
Or tag some things to easier.
I know.
Go back to. But anyway, we got
Jack as well. Shit, they're not popping up on here for some reason as super chat. I don't know why. At the top, or I'm just missing them.
Nate, am I going? I have to. All right, Nate, Tim, you guys have to go sit on opposite sides of the classroom.
Let's finish Nate's first. I'll look for McNutwack here. I'll try to find his other.
Yeah,
I'll try to find his other.
Marty, did you pick one here, Marty? If you want to pick one, and then you can scroll back.
I'm going with Running Wild. I mean, I love that Blind Guardian record, but that's one of my favorite Running Wild records. So yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a Nightfall Miller guy. That's my favorite Blind Guardian, and I'm kind of new to Running Wild.
Yeah,
they make it so hard to search for shit on here. Why do they do this?
They do. But yeah, Nate, it is very similar to the pair that Tim just gave. These are both albums that are really close to the top of both bands' discographies. They're from both bands' golden period, but they're Death or Glory would get some votes as favorite album. Somewhere Far Beyond probably gets fewer. Between those two, I will. Yeah, Death or Glory. I got to keep Death or Glory between those two. Somewhere Far Beyond is a great, fantastic Blind Guardian album, but Death or Glory is probably my second favorite Running Wild album. It's maybe just a little bit further up the pecking order in their discography than Somewhere Far Beyond is within the Blind Guardian catalog. So I will keep the Running Wild, and losing a lot of good Blind Guardian songs there. Sad.
McNutwack, would you please repost your pick at the? Oh wait. Here it is. I see it now. Never mind. Ooh, this is a good one.
I was one of I kept it in the back of my head to scroll back to now that we got and we found an opening.
Oh yeah. Beyond the Wandering Moon or Hades' Dawn of a Dying Sun. Wow.
Aren't you glad you found it, Marty?
You know what? I'm okay with the decision on this. I have to stay with Beyond the Wandering Moon because Dawn of a Dying Sun rules, but it's no Again Shall Be. So I love Again Shall Be. I love Dawn of the Dying Sun, but Beyond the Wandering Moon is absolute essential, awesome, amazing, killer stuff. So yeah, that's for me.
Melanie, how about you?
Oh, I'm right there with you, Marty. That is my pick, 100%. That is top tier stuff. And I just wrote it down. I'm gonna listen to that tomorrow now.
Right on.
Good deal. Ben, your official vote?
I got Dawn of the Dying Sun, I think. Okay. I love that album. I sink my entire body into its velvety tones. I get lost.
That was very graphic and unique. Okay. For me, I'm a latecomer to Hades, and I do love that Eternus album. So the Eternus for me. I've gotten some of the Hades stuff. I'm working on it, but I've been listening to the Eternus for 25 years, something like that. So Old Man Allen will stick to his Old Man Metal and go with
They
the
came
Curse.
back around too. Their last album, Heathen, is really good.
Yeah.
It's in the vein of this old stuff. It's a really good album.
I just got Dark Sorcery last week, and it's kind of boring.
I like it,
What's an
Nah.
EP? I mean,
It's just
can't
an EP.
really-
but yeah.
I like it myself.
Okay, did everybody chime in on this one? Yep. Okay, we've got Jack Half a Prayer back again. Thanks, Jack. Thank you, McNutwhack.
That's
we've
a
got-
brutal.
Jack Half a Prayer, Weakling, Dead as Dreams versus Absu Terra.
Oh.
Why do we do this to ourselves?
I'll go. I'm gonna have to go with Absu Terra. The drum performance, the songwriting, their best album. It's their best album, as far as I'm concerned. And they put out some great albums. This is their best album. So yeah, Weakling. I can't tell you the last time I spun that record. To be honest, it's a good record. It's been a while. It's been a while.
Dead as Dreams is a fucking game changer for all of black metal and
For U.S. black metal in particular.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's a big one.
Also, Proscriptor's a transphobe, so fuck that guy.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%.
He is a jerk. Yep. Melanie?
I bought him a rum and coke one time, and I take it back.
Doing Absu just because Weakling was something that I didn't really hear until recently.
Okay. For me on this one, I think I would keep the Weakling. Nothing against Absu. Most people cite that as their favorite Absu, but hey, it's not my favorite Absu. So I'm okay letting that one go. And like Ben said, the Weakling was kind of this unique anomaly that spurred other things into action. So yeah, I'll keep the Weakling on that pair. Good pair.
Right.
Cheers, Jonas. Thanks for joining us. All right. Oh,
I have two more pairings if you want to.
yeah, let's do something because there's another good one right there. Okay,
Yeah,
go
Jack,
ahead.
the Weakling prices are just ridiculous and sad, and
Yep.
they can't. I mean, that's going to be a hard one to ever get reissued because of the rights are tied up by somebody who's not interested in letting it back out into the wild.
Mark Riddick enters the chat.
Hey, Mark, I just want to say, I tried emailing you this week about being on the show, and I had the wrong email address. So Melanie just gave me your correct email address. I will be emailing you this weekend, hopefully, if I remember. If not, it'll be next week. So cheers. Anyway, Ben.
Do you want to go with a fourfer or a twofer?
This one's for Melanie since she's her toe is healing.
Oh.
Oh, the screams that I had were something I didn't know was possible. So yeah, that does not feel good.
Let's do the twofer.
Okay. I want Mark Riddick on here with Tanner from Obsequii.
Yes,
Let's
please.
do it. Make it happen.
Yeah.
All right, twofer. Seven Churches.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Delicious.
I don't even want to see the other one now. You motherfucker.
One of them gone.
But which one's the first death metal album?
Stop it.
You know what? I'm going to still stick to I'm from the school where Possessed, they coined the phrase, but they were still a dark thrash band to me. I always saw them in my mind as a thrash band. Death is a death metal band. So I would say Death. Possessed coined the phrase, Death is a death metal band. And people are going to say I'm wrong. People are going to say I'm wrong. I don't care. What's that?
That's not the question. Which one goes?
I want to cry.
Death metal or not, whatever they are. Bye bye love, bye bye loneliness.
Okay, I've got to reason this out in my head. For Death, Leprosy is technically my favorite Death album. I named my distro after Born Dead. It's It's one of my favorite death songs.
But is Leprosy a better death metal album than Scream Bloody Gore? That's the question. It's more refined, but is it better? Man, I don't know.
It's tough. So with Leprosy, mine is just more of like, that's the first death album I ever heard, and the Ed Repka artwork is the reason why I loved it. So that's like but Scream Bloody Gore has gotten me through some shit in my life. Like that is an album that I've listened to when I am not in a good mood and I just need to lock myself away. But Possessed Seven Churches is one of the greatest bands I've ever seen live.
Oh man.
And I saw them with Sadistic Intent and The Chasm.
Wow.
Such a great show. It was back in the 2000s. So it was pretty late in their careers, but it was still so much fun. I got to meet them all. I just don't think I could ever not listen to Seven Churches again. And for that reason, I'm okay with having the rest of the Death discography. But Jesus Christ.
Yeah. And Seven Churches is the best Possessed album. I mean, I like Beyond the Gates, but the sound sucks. It's a shitty sound. I do like the Eyes of Horror EP, but it's an EP, you know. And the new Possessed album was good. It's good. I'm gonna jump in. I'm gonna go with Possessed. It's their best. That's my favorite Death record. Straight up, my favorite Death record. Mutilation. Beyond the Unholy Grave. Holy fuck. Zombie Ritual. Jesus, what a killer, killer fucking song. I mean, there's just banger after banger on that. That's my favorite.
They're in the dumpster next to 85% of your Halloween collection.
Oh.
What about you, Ben? Mr. Chuckles. Happy man.
I didn't like this until maybe I hit the age of
puberty.
20, or something.
When your testicles descended, you realize this is good.
Ben was noticing inverted crosses where there hadn't been any inverted crosses a couple of years earlier.
It's kind of a noisy mess. Like, I wish this album had the sound of Eyes of Horror on it. That would be a lot better.
Yeah.
But I've come around to it.
Produced by Joe Satriani, by the way. The Eyes of Horror.
Yeah.
Which is weird.
I feel like I've got more time to spend with this one than Scream Bloody Gore. I've played the ever-loving shit out of this thing. Love it to death. But it's pretty tough.
I don't feel good.
Sorry, guys.
No, that's a fair approach. I'm going to keep the Death. I really like that Death album. The nothing against Seven Churches, but pick one. I will keep Screaming Bloody Gore.
Evil Chuck's vocals are the best. Anyway, here's a good one. Resident of Bach comes at us with Skepticism, Stormcrow Fleet, or Thurgathon, Stream from the Heavens. Great pick.
Oh, yeah. Probably like two of the most seminal Funeral Doom albums.
Yeah.
Okay. Been a while since I heard these.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not usually a fan of remasters or remixes, but that Stormcrow Fleet, which is an album that relies very heavily on its sound, that was a really good remaster. It was different enough, I think, that it can kind of coexist as two separate things. It's just kind of like sometimes you want to like have a little more focus on it than other times.
I like Thurgathon a lot, but I'm gonna have to side with Skepticism. I think that Stormcrow Fleet album is an exceptionally unique album in the Funeral Doom. They go with the funeral organ, which really gives it a very weird atmosphere, and it's just a very warm sounding album. I'm going with that because I really think it comes from a but yeah, Stormcrow Fleet for me.
Same.
Yeah,
I'm not too familiar with Thurgathon.
Thurgathon is good. It's only
It's
one
good.
album, but it's good.
Well, there's also
Yeah.
a demo too, but yeah, a demo and yeah, they didn't put anything out after that, did they?
No, I didn't know
No.
that there's a demo.
I'm
Yeah,
a
I'm
little
Hold
torn
on,
this
I'll go grab
one.
it.
This Stormcrow Fleet is probably the better album, but it's not my favorite Skepticism album, actually. So, whatever. If I, and like we were just saying, Thurgathon, you cut that, and you're down to like a demo and a something recorded in the back of Sandy's bar in August of '94, and what do you call it, TDK Sony Walkman or something. I might keep the Thurgathon here. There are other There's other Skepticism albums I like better, even though Stormcrow Fleet is fine.
What the hell's
Cool.
this called?
You'll never be able to pronounce it.
No, Flagog na
Let's see,
Yog
Finnish,
Sagoth or Soth something or other. Yep.
Something Yog Sothoth Lovecraft.
Something Lovecraftian.
Yep. Yeah, I'll keep the Thurgathon here. I will keep the
Thurgathon. I always said Thurgathon at whatever.
It may be Thurgathon. I'm not,
I think you're probably right.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah. If it had been Lead or Ether, I probably would have kept that one. I really like that one. That's my favorite Skepticism. Yeah,
Okay.
Cool pick. We hadn't had a Funeral Doom choice tonight.
I was kind of trying to think about something to pit against like Disembowelment, but
Stop
never really
it.
got into it.
Just don't. Just don't.
Melanie's just like,
Just don't. I actually am surprised it hasn't come up yet.
Yeah.
it is a hard one to think of something to pair it against. It is.
You don't even have to
unless
pair
you're
it
just
against
gonna-
anything. You just be mean and just put it against another great album.
Oh, hey, that's a great idea.
Mark's
You
got
know,
a good
Alan?
pick here. I don't know if everybody's heard this though. I know I haven't heard the one. Devil Doll. How do you say that? Diarrhea.
Disarray.
Versus Malacarpatan. Nordkarpatenland.
I have not heard that second one. And
Really?
It's been ages since I've
Oh
heard
man,
that
you
one,
gotta
so-
hear that.
Is that the one you sent me, Ben? Because
Yeah.
it's a killer record.
Yeah.
It's good. I have to go with Malacarpatan because I have not heard the Devil Doll.
I haven't heard Devil Doll either. Mel Carpatane is good.
Okay.
It's been a long time since I checked out Devil Doll. I've kind of been meaning to get back in there.
All right. I'm trying to find one here, folks. Sorry.
There
Jonas
was
has
a
nice
lot. Yes, there was a lot up farther.
Here's one for the brutal side. Gutto is asking, dying fetus, killing on adrenaline versus devourment, molesting the decapitated.
beer. Okay. We are too far out of my wheelhouse, so I'll have to sit this one.
Yeah, I
This will
put
work
that
for
up
someone
probably
else.
for Melanie because I don't have molesting the decapitated is the only devourment I don't own. I don't own any dying fetus. Well, I do have some promos, I guess.
I'm going to be called a poser, but I'm going to pick Dying Fetus. That is one of
Poser.
my favorites.
You poser,
Eh.
broken toed poser. That's what posers get. Broken toes.
Probably
My
hard to
thing
pose with a broken toe because your weight and your center balance is off a little bit. You know, you try to
My
do
thing
this
was-
and you stumble
yeah.
forward into the camera.
My thing with devourment is like molesting is decapitated and then butcher the weak are so like iconic, obviously in the brutal death metal realm, but so misogynist. Like, and
Yeah.
as I've gotten older, it's hard to get around that. And Dying Fetus is a little bit more my jam in terms of lyrical content and what they're about these days. And I find myself listening to them a little bit more than Devourment. I love Devourment's newer albums. when they
Yeah,
started to
the
move
newest one is
past
really
that.
crushing. Yeah.
But that is, I also don't want to just say like, oh, I don't ever listen to them. Like, I own like 4 different copies of that on tape. Like every time Contreras presses it, I buy it. I don't know why, but I do. But yeah, I'm gonna pick Dying Fetus just because it was that album. If there was another Dying Fetus, there's a couple of Dying Fetus albums I'm not too keen on that I just haven't really gotten into, but that one is just, it's a great album.
All right, we've got Noisy Beast with a. Did everybody chime in on that? Who wanted to chime in on that?
Nobody
I don't
else.
fuck with either one of those bands.
Yeah.
Noisy Beast. We've got Whiplash, Power and Pain versus Rigor Mortis, self-titled debut. Easy one for me. I don't mind the Rigor Mortis, but I really, really like Power and Pain. That is a great riff, awesome thrash classic.
Not my cup of tea.
What have we got? Whiplash, Power and Pain, Rumors.
I don't know that rigor mortis too well.
I've heard it. It's been a long time, but yeah, Power and Pain for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, those first two Whiplash albums are pretty killer.
Here's another good one by Un.
Oh, no.
Monstrosity, Imperial Doom, or Angel Corpse, The Inexorable.
Wow.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a choice.
That's a good choice.
That is a good choice.
That is the
I
best
mean-
Monstrosity record
It is. Let me make
against
sure this
a
is-
really
That's another
killer
one that
Angel.
needs a reissue very badly.
Yeah, no shit.
Okay, no.
Oh, I want to look at that Angel Corpse track listing before I say
Okay.
anything.
I have my pick.
Go for it, Melanie.
doing Monstrosity only because I still have Exterminate with Angel Corpse, and I love that album.
Yeah.
Hammer of Gods is my favorite.
Hammer of
Really?
Gods is hard to beat.
Yeah, I love that
Yeah.
record.
Huh.
Love it. Just a little more
Yeah.
savage, a little less morbid Angel. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm going to use the same logic. So yeah, same logic. 'Cause, there are other Angel Corpse albums that are as good or better. So I can let that one go if I have to.
I pre-gamed before this episode and watched an old episode of Keep a Reap, and I just happened to land on someone asking about Angel Corpse Exterminate. And Alan, you were like, let me check the track list on that.
Yeah, I do tend to get those a little bit muddled up. So
Yeah, same.
but
They're
yeah,
really kind of interchangeable. I love them both.
Mm-hmm.
Devin's got a good one here. Devin, good to see you, man. Crystal Age, Far Beyond Divine Horizons versus Hell Witch, Sigil Miscreancy.
Gee, I wonder who that one's for.
Fucking knees in. Damn.
Interesting. I've actually listened to both of these recently, so they're a little fresh. in
Me
my
too,
mind.
actually.
Did you
I
get that
got the
vinyl
Crystal
reissue?
Age
That
on
Crystal Age?
tape.
I'm sorry, what, Ben?
Did anybody get that vinyl reissue of the Crystal Age?
No,
It's in the to buy list, but I haven't actually pulled the
I
trigger
haven't
yet,
done it.
which
I got
is
it. It's only
dumb.
200 pressed, isn't it? Is that what it's super, super small
Who
pressing?
did it? Who did it?
Speaks volumes.
Oh, I'm not gonna be able to get that. That's killing
Oh,
me.
did someone put up a hard one for you, Simon? Aw.
No mercy, no sympathy, Simon. None at all.
Yeah, the Crystal Age has been reissued this year on CD, tape, and LP. So go check it out.
Yeah.
You gotta go with Whip. Oh wait, which one are we up on here? We moved it. What's
I
the
think I'm going
choice?
to pick Crystal Age.
Crystal Age.
or Hell Witch, and I'm gonna
I'll go
Crystal Age
Crystal
or
Age. I like Hell Witch a lot, but I'm gonna go with Crystal Age.
Yeah.
I will go Crystal Age as well.
Crystal Age.
Devin on the copy paste game tonight. I know you didn't spell that shit out.
You sounded out the big words. Let's pick a couple more, and Ben's got a 4-way that he wants to do, and we'll probably wrap her up. It's getting close to midnight,
Yeah.
and we don't want to keep her reap all the way into the morning hours.
We're going to have no albums left.
Yeah, no albums left. I'll have no Halloween collection left. Okay, I'm trying to find one here. Okay, here we go. Here's Simon again. Funny man. This wasn't so bad. Nile, In Their Darkened Shrines versus Cryptopsy, None So Vile.
This is easy for me.
I'm a Nile guy. I like Cryptopsy, but I will go with In Their Darkened Shrines.
Yeah. Niall. I have some love-hate with that Cryptopsy. Cryptopsy is really hit or miss with me, and people just love that album so much. It took me a while before I got onto that.
Kind of the same way.
not big on either of these bands, but if I had to pick one, I guess I would keep the Nile.
That
But I'm
Nile's good.
pretty. Yeah, it's not the pair for me. People are just posting mean things now that you've said it's getting close to the end, Marty.
Here's the one. I'm gonna go with. Did everybody pick on that one?
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
You did it.
And
I feel like Nile's got a lot of stuff to choose from in their discography. They're kind of equal in quality, but for Cryptopsy, I think None So Vile is kind of quite a bit better than their other stuff. I really only care about the first two.
okay.
So I would go with None So Vile.
All right. Okay. Here's kind of a mean one. I don't see a lot of similarities between these two bands, other than maybe the same era. This is just a mean one. Rust in Peace versus Sepultura's Arise.
Fuck Megadeth. It's not. I
love
hate
you,
that band. Sepultura Rise is one of the greatest albums ever made. I'm sorry.
It is.
I would never. That's not even hard for me.
I wouldn't let Dave Mustaine clean my toilet with his mouth.
No.
Ooh. Alan?
No.
Vivid and specific. No,
Hello, me. I'm cleaning the bowl again.
I would keep Rust in Peace. That album does rank real high for me. Sepultura's Arise took me a long time to get around to for whatever reason. So
Really?
I don't have nearly as much history with it as I do with Rust in Peace. And Rust is a classic for me. So I'll keep the Megadeth.
I'm going with Megadeth as well, because as much as I love Arise, I still have Beneath the Remains. And that is, I think, of the two is my favorite. I like Beneath the Remains a little bit better than Arise, but they're both top tier albums.
Wait a second.
Let me look at the track list here.
I think I got what you said. I think I got my Sepultura. I don't think I'm changing my answer, but just to qualify, Sepultura Arise. No, that's Dead Embryonic Cells, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry. No, I do have plenty of history with that Sepultura album. I got it in Beneath the Remains backwards in my head for a moment.
Music
Sorry.
for cops.
I would still take Rust in Peace, but no, Arise is I got that like the week it came out. It had been played that video on Headbangers Ball leading up to that, so that was my introduction to Sepultura. Like the album still do, but I would still have to take Rust in Peace over it. So yeah, sorry, apologies, I got the albums mixed up there for a minute.
We'll take two more, and then we're going to Ben, and then we're going to wrap it. So if you got something in your mind, throw it out there now. Now is the time to do it.
Yeah, sorry we haven't been able to get to everybody. So there's been a ton of good ones.
So many.
Oh, there we go. Tim's being mean again. Atlantean Codex, Course of Empire versus Gamma Ray's Land of the Free. I got to go with Land of the Free. Fuck it.
Point of order, Marty.
No.
If I ban Tim, is that like just for tonight or is it permanent? Because I don't want to, I'm not trying to get rid of him, completely, but I think he needs to learn a lesson of some type. There needs to be some kind of disciplinary action here. Yeah, I'm keeping Course of Empire and sad face, but that Gamma Ray album will just have to go because you put it against Course of Empire. This is what happens when we do these things. Decisive
action.
It is
stupid prizes.
And we're going to focus in and make some tough calls here. Thanks, Tim.
I'm going Gamma Ray. What do you think, Ben? You have not heard Atlantean Codex, I'm sure.
No, I have. I've maybe heard that. I used to have that Gamma Ray album. I got rid of it. It's not really worth answering for me, really.
I mean,
we can do
Gamma Ray because I don't really know that Atlantean Codex.
Great record.
They're great.
Here's a fun one, Alan. For Marty and Alan, Cocoon or Grumpy Old Men? I'm going with Grumpy Old Men for the outtakes. The Burgess Meredith swear fest at the end. The blooper reels are killer.
Probably, yeah. Cocoon was kind of weird. I remember seeing that as a kid and just being like, huh? So, yeah, probably Grumpy Old Man.
Okay, one more death metal one. Lapstein Continuum, Convulse, World Without God versus Dark Carnage, Dark Recollections.
I'm not sure I've heard that Convulse, but I really like that Carnage album. So
You've never heard that Convulse?
The Convulse is really good.
Let me look. Maybe I'm just drawing a
Finnish
blank on it.
killer, classic Finnish death metal, killer. But since I said no to Dismember, I'm going to have to go with Carnage, Dark Recollections, just out of principle.
I'm gonna go with Convulse. I'm kind of a late comer to that album, but I saw them play it live in 2019, and it's
okay.
Getting fell off my bones.
Okay, I have heard the Convulse. It is over here on a playlist at some point. But the Carnage is a personal favorite from that early Swedish stuff, so I'm keeping that.
That's a really good pair.
Yeah, I'm going with Carnage. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. But that's, man, this night killed me.
All right, Ben, you had a forfer, and Melanie, you had another couple to do before we wrapped it.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Last call from our guests.
Oh, don't, no. All right.
Is there something on there that's too good to go?
Don't.
Oh.
Spectral Wind Blows. Anyways.
There's been too many spectral bands lately. I'm really getting tripped up on all the spectrals.
Oh, I love that record so much.
Rest in peace.
I love that record so much.
Versus Punishment Productions.
Rest in peace for me all day. Better, darker vibe, better production. You can actually hear the vocals. The musicianship is way better on Punishment, but RIP is classic. Anybody? What do you all else think?
RIP for me.
Punishment has grown on me a lot over time, but I would still keep RIP. Yeah.
Okay. I'm surprised. I thought they were a little more evenly weighted. My pick is RIP too.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. Punishment. Has definitely climbed over time.
Skeleton on Your Shoulder. What a great fucking song. Ooh.
Children die with open eyes. All right.
Yep.
So
Mass Jackal. Yep.
Now we choose.
Oh, Dimension. All day, every day. Brain Scan. Okay. Tribal Convictions. Macro Solutions to Mega Problems.
Would there have been a different Voivod that would have pitted better with Dimension Tatros?
Oh, that's my favorite. No.
Those two make sense to.
Those two make total sense to each other.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then you choose.
I'm not sure.
I go Voivod. I gotta go Voivod. It's a top 10 favorite for me.
Wow.
Coroner.
I would go Coroner. That's just because I'm pretty late to the Voivod thing.
Yep. No, I'm in the same boat with Melanie. They just
I think I'm gonna pick this one.
So good, man. Oh my god.
These are albums where I am so
those are my teenage years right there. You're holding in your hand.
I chose these for you.
Yeah.
I'm getting so burned out on listening to new music, especially in trying to work on my year-end list if I ever finish it. Because I want to go back and listen to these things.
Because they're amazing records.
Fucking don't. So I think in 2023, I want to spend more time listening to old classics and stop fucking around with new stuff. There's a ton of amazing shit coming out, but
there's tons. But there's a thing about, this is old guy shouting at the clouds. Someone was yelling at me in the comments on one of the last videos that I was closed-minded and shit, but whatever. I mean, the Coroner and the Voivod sound nothing like each other. They were label mates. They sound nothing like each other. Today's metal is killer. I love it. But all these death metal bands, there's a lot of them that sound alike. The productions are the same. They're using the same gear. They're set at the same tunings. It's all the same. They're all the deep, low, guttural. I dig it. I love it. I love the sound, but where's the identity? And that's one thing that area you're holding in your hand. Just about every band had its own identity. But anyway, old man shouting at the clouds. Anyway,
Well, they were the first to do everything. They're
Yeah.
You know, you can't really do anything new that much anymore.
and if you do, it's usually so damn weird you can hardly listen to it. You know?
Like next week's album club. Holy shit!
Yeah, I started listening to that in bed last night, and I'm just like, what in the fuck is this? What's
It's
happening?
like the #1 trending thing on Bandcamp right now,
It
by
is.
the way.
Really?
I like to think it's because of us.
Yeah. I opened it up this morning because I went to go buy something. I was like, you've got to be kidding me. Like, it's right there. I thought
Wait,
you
what is the
pulled
pick
that
for
from
next-
the depths.
What is the pick for next Wednesday?
No one knows
Chinese.
because you can't say. He picked one
Oh,
you can't fucking
that's-
say.
That's right. It's it's a different alphabet, and
It's a Chinese black
It's an
metal band,
ancient
right?
Greek from a Chinese
Yeah.
guy.
Okay, Gutto,
I don't know how we're gonna
we
do
will
this
humor you
episode.
here. Best song, Mirror Mirror by Candlemass versus Mirror Mirror by Blind Guardian.
I like the way Guido thinks.
I do too.
Yeah, we should do songs more sometime. We haven't done a lot. We do a lot of albums. We should do songs. Mirror Mirror Candlemass versus
What
Mirror,
album's that
Mirror,
on? I
Blind
can't
Guardian.
remember.
Mirror Mirror. It's Ancient Dreams. It's the
It's a
opener.
lead off song, isn't it?
Yep. And Mirror Mirror's off of Nightfall in Middle Earth by Blind Guardian. Mirror.
I should get a copy of Ancient Dreams. I kind of hate Messiah.
Yeah. I love both those songs. I would probably keep the Candlemass track though. Yeah, I'd probably keep the Candlemass track. It's one of the best on Ancient Dreams, and that's a good album. So I'll keep the Candlemass track. But yeah, that's a fun pair.
Has the new singer of Candlemass, well, the new old singer, has he done any good albums with him?
The last album was good.
It's good. I
Yeah,
mean, it wasn't like
he's
the
he's
best
done
thing
two
ever.
since getting back together with them. Sweet Evil Son just came out in November, and then there was
No.
Door of Doom before a couple years before that. They are both reasonably good Candlemass albums. Candlemass is, as we've discussed on other episodes, it's one of those legacy bands that keeps making good albums, but at this point, they feel a little bit samey and formulaic. It's
Sure.
they've got so many classic albums that are ranked so highly and so beloved. It's asking a lot for them to put something out on that caliber now. So you hear the new ones, it's like, yeah, it's a good Candlemass album, but they don't tend to stay in rotation very long because they're just good. They're not the immortal albums that
Yeah.
we've been listening to for decades.
Do either one of them like harken back to Epicus much?
Nay, not
No.
necessarily.
Mm,
I mean,
it's very,
they're-
it's
no.
no, they got more of that newer sound to it. It's hard. Which kind of kills me a little bit.
Yeah,
Um,
they don't have
I-
that classic grandeur that they had in the 80s.
Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
I just can't do fucking palm muted chunky riffs anymore.
Mm,
no.
yeah. But yeah,
Tom's
if
got
you
one
if you
for
were
you.
going to listen to one of the two, I'd say listen to Sweet Evil Son. He sounds a little more confident in the vocals on that one. Because
listen to
if I
that.
remember right, Door to Doom, they were writing with somebody else in the vocalist slot, and he kind of was a last minute change.
Huh.
I may be wrong about that. As such, there were times that you can kind of tell he was singing. It feels like he's singing music that was written for somebody else in terms of the vocal style. So I like his vocal performance on the newer of the two albums.
Okay.
But anyway,
I'll
I'm
do
sorry,
that
Marty.
one.
Marty, you said that Tom had something.
Yeah, there's one for you there.
Naughty, Danger versus Naughty, Naji. Come on,
Come on,
Ted-
man.
Ted Polly's my spirit animal. I can want to pick anything over that. Not going to happen.
Melanie, did you have any before we jump?
Yeah, I had a dumb one, but I was curious.
Ah,
to see
yeah.
Yeah, we like dumb.
I did Creator's Pleasure to Kill or Slayer Show No Mercy.
Oh, nothing dumb about that. That's a
good one.
pair. That's a very good pair. For me, it would be the Slayer. I can answer pretty easily. I just have a lot more history with an album. It's one of my favorite Slayer albums.
It's my favorite Slayer.
I'm very late to the Creator table, so I'd have to pick Show No Mercy, but it's a good pair.
Oh, it's harder than I thought it would be. I'm going to go with
Yeah.
Pleasure to Kill because it's killer.
I'm
Killer.
shocked. I'm
I
shocked.
love Show No Mercy. I love the new wave of British heavy metal vibe on that. It sounds unlike any of their other albums. But man, Pleasure to Kill. Come on. I can't let that one go.
I should be getting Hell Awaits tomorrow for the second time around.
You gonna get rid of it again after you get it?
Probably not. I mean, I've got 3,000 CDs. What's another one?
Right.
Don't feel bad. I've gone through a couple of copies of Hell Awaits, so I'm not afraid to admit it.
Well, that's it, everybody. You've all been awesome. Thank you so much.
And again, very sorry there were a lot that we did not get to tonight. There were a ton with about 90 to 100 people in the chat most of the time. So, and with 4 of us, ringing in, it takes a couple of minutes to get through them. So, thanks everybody for contributing. And sorry we did not get everything on screen that we would have liked to. There were some I'm glad didn't get on screen. Some of you were being really mean there.
Yeah, it's really hard to you're trying to watch this chat and then bounce around in it. They don't make it easy to keep up with. But thank you all for the chat, super chats. We appreciate it. What's that?
I wish you could have the super chats stay on the side and I don't know, scroll through them or something.
Right. There should be a way you could manage the chats a way better. But Melanie and Ben, thank you again. We had a great time. These are always fun. Thank you so much. Everybody in the chat, thank you again. Thank you for the super chats. Also, a couple things. We have shirts available, 2 different designs, link in the description. And also tomorrow night, don't forget, over at Dreadful Minutes, 7 o'clock, there is a Gatekeepers in Metal stream, gigantic thing put together by Jeff from Gas masks and hand grenades.
Yeah. And
Kellen and Rick did a lot of work on the stream. Go check that out. It's gonna be a monster. Melanie and Ben always putting out content. Love you guys. Cheers. Everybody have a great weekend. We will see you on Wednesday. We love you. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.
Is there anything I need to add? Or are we good? We done?
Something about a chicken.
We'll see you Wednesday.
Chicken. Wednesday. Book club or a band we can't pronounce. Later.
I think it translates as tastes like chicken.
Right.